Man, we back at it again. We at headquarters today. The Crew's Dynasty Podcast. I got the crew with me. We got some heavy hitters, and we in studio today, cracking open some beers. We getting serious today, so we breaking it all down. Dunc, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's happening?
Man, just gonna do what we do. Same old shit. Craft man, what's up?
Shoot, nothing, man. We just hanging out today. Finally got it together in the studio.
Yep.
Got some beers with us.
Yep.
Got some good old time.
Got some cats with us. Got it all. Got lawnmowers with us. Got my brother in the background back there. If he wants to chime in every now and then, chime on in. And then we got P. Miller. He might walk up in here anytime too, you know. But some of us got kids and stuff. Sometimes you got to put the baby down and then hop on the podcast. That's just what we do. But shoot, like I said, add the podcast, the Crew's Dynasty Podcast. We dropping our 50th episode this weekend. We're doing like 49 and 50. The haters said we couldn't do it.
Oh, wow.
Dunc, they said we couldn't do it, man. And here we are, man, dropping these episodes, man. We actually getting some viewers and stuff every now and then. So it's like, we balling, man. And for those of y'all out here, I'm doing this podcast till the day I die. Kraft, do you have any objections to that?
I'll be right there with you, man.
Shout out to the fans.
Yeah, shout out to all y'all out here who've been supporting us. Shout out to the haters if you out there. If we even have haters, I wish we have a few. I hope we have a couple haters out there, and I'll we'll accept it. But shoot, man, we just gonna break down the games like we always do. You know, we missed Thursday night football, but we knew we was getting together, and Kraft, it's like you said on the phone. Did we really miss that Thursday night game? Did we really miss it? It was a pretty boo-boo game. But shoot, let's just highlight it real quick, man. Let people know what the heck happened. You know, Brian Robinson came back from that gunshot wound. Antonio Gibson, doing special teams and stuff. I hope you got rid of him when you could.
Might as well cut him.
So, I don't know, man. Carson Wentz threw for 99 yards.
It's the second time this year, ain't it?
I mean, holy cow. How can a guy be looking so good sometimes and then the next week be like, because look, Kraft through week 2, he was quarterback 4. Now, I don't know where he's at now. Now he's got 4 points. Like last night he had 4 points.
God.
Brian Robinson got a touchdown, the only touchdown for
That cat out of here.
Yeah, for the Commanders. Got the only touchdown. Kraft, what you think about Brian Robinson? How do you think he looked?
You know, I'm trying to, limit my excitement on Robinson because, I've had him on my IR all year. He come in, got a touchdown, 60 yards rushing, but the way I'm thinking about Robinson right now is you got a early down grinder for a bad team.
Yeah.
Probably going to get a lot of volume.
No 2-minute drill for him, and and he's not playing in hurry up offense, and not playing on third down. So you can play him in a bad matchup, but I wouldn't play him.
You think all three of them are going to be fighting with each other, or is it just going to be McKissick and Robinson at this point?
Gibson's going to get you them punt return yards, bro. Hopefully you get points for punt return and kick returns for Gibson, but
damn,
I don't know if he got. How many carries did he get? 4 or 5 carries last night.
Gibson had 5 carries for 35 yards, 3 receptions for 18 yards. This one to me is just a conundrum.
Good.
He's a good football player, so it's like, what in the world? But I'm gonna say the same thing about the Bears. I think Herbert is way better than Montgomery. But you don't think so? Every time I see, how about this? Every time Montgomery's not there, Herbert goes off. Montgomery, he just gets points from volume, strictly volume, pretty much.
What do you think, Dunc?
I think by the eye test, I do think Herbert looks better than Montgomery.
This is the second year in a row I've thought that.
Yeah.
I think y'all just don't like older players. Y'all just like old Herbert because he's young, and I think they both look about the same. I mean,
Montgomery's
Montgomery
only
puts in
24.
work. Did you see Montgomery in that Packers game now? He was going off. And he does it every week.
Packers, man.
He does it every week, though. And Herbert, I mean, Herbert is good. Don't get me wrong, but Monty's the dude. He's the back to have, unless you're in redraft. Dunc, Matt Ryan, Khalil Herbert for Kirk Cousins.
Ain't happening. Well, maybe Khalil. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have some.
I like
You got him
Khalil.
on your squad?
Yeah, I got him on my squad. I got Eno too. You want Eno?
Nah, I feel like he's just kind of
I
irrelevant.
got Monty too.
Yeah, the best advice for Eno is hopefully he'll do good this week and then try to ship him off within the next couple weeks.
Hey, I'm all about flipping players.
Yep, especially players like that.
Telling you.
But yeah, Justin Fields, go ahead and talk about him a little bit. He had 18 points, I believe. 18 points, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 fumble.
Jeez.
I'm off the Justin Fields bandwagon. I was kind of defending him a little bit. I'm not saying he's in a terrible situation because he is. He's in probably one of the worst. But so is Trevor Lawrence. So is, I would say Zach Wilson, but I ain't starting to say that anymore. He's with the Jets, but at least he has some weapons around him.
Yeah, that's pretty good, too.
Justin Fields, I still believe he just needs to get into a better situation. And maybe he will. Even the Falcons looks like a better situation than the Bears right now. So it's like,
Damn.
it's just like the Bears.
So it's that bad, huh?
It's that bad. O-line, I mean, don't you said it last night, probably the worst O-line of the league, maybe.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense either. They're bad at pass blocking and good at run blocking.
Great at run blocking.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
But shoot, man, before we even move on, last night I did say if the over and under was 24, I would take the under on this one. So I banged on the under. Real quick, though. Oh, who is it? Dante Pettis?
Don't even start on that.
What you mean?
Just shut it down now.
Some of
Shut it
y'all
down
might have
now.
had him. He had 7 targets, 4 receptions last night. Long touchdown. Put him in your roster. Nah, I'm just kidding, man. That right there is an outlier. That ain't never happening again. What y'all saw last night was I don't even know what that was. Luck to the nth degree.
One thing I do want to talk about is what y'all think about Mooney.
Yeah.
Is he back? He had 12 targets, 7 receptions,
I don't know. It seems like
10 fantasy points in half PPR.
13 in PPR.
Yeah.
Y'all back as in a flex spot?
I don't know, man. That offense is too bad. And like I said, that offensive line don't really give Justin Fields enough time. And they already showed that they don't want him throwing, so probably not.
It's got to be a deep league.
Yeah.
It's got to be you're in a pinch right now.
Let's say if I was in
bye
that
weeks
12
and
team.
injuries. Go ahead.
Let's say if I was in that 12 team, I would consider starting him at that flex position.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like he might be better than some of those you had on your squad.
And really more of a PPR guy instead of a half PPR.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be scoring touchdowns.
No.
That's obvious. So
No.
Well, Mooney or Scantlin?
I'm going to say Mooney. But Scantling could, you might come along. I mean, I've been down on him the whole time, but, Scantling could make it happen.
I might would say Scanlon.
Yeah. So it's tough.
Against the Bills this week, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's about to be a shootout.
Yeah, gonna be a shootout.
For
I'm
sure.
Agreed. I'm with you. Let's just move on from that shitty ass game. I'm tired of
Agreed.
talking
Great
about that
game.
bull crap.
12-7.
For people, if y'all are listening, we just look on Sleeper and we just go game by games. At 1 o'clock, San Francisco's headed to Atlanta.
Heavy hitters.
You know me, I'm a Falcons fan. I get sick of watching us. Makes me so mad. But Jimmy G, Mariota, you more of your super flex starts. Jeff Wilson, Kraft, you were saying Jeff Wilson was underrated the other day. You still feel the same way?
I think he's underrated as far as the opportunities he gets. I think he's an average running back, but you want the starting running back for 49ers?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think Jeff Wilson's
agree.
underrated too.
I would like to see, I ain't got it in front of me, but what he's finished in the last couple of weeks, I feel like he's been definitely a RB2, kind of steady. But, I mean, Tevin Coleman's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all worried about that at all?
Nah, I'm
Not really.
2 touchdowns.
I
Still in
know,
goal
but-
line work.
I mean, true, but I mean Jeff Wilson. To me, he looks good when he gets in the game. So,
Yeah, I think so too.
and you want the top. All these running backs they see running work taken away because of Debo and stuff. So it's like running work always gets taken away from these guys. So you just kind of roll with it, accept what you got. Debo, an obvious start coming into the week.
What about them other receivers? You high on Kittle or Ayuk for this game?
Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest. I like the talent of Ayuk,
I do
but
too.
it just doesn't work out. They just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they ain't got enough volume right there for. I think Kittle will end up picking it up, and Ayuk will have his games.
Yeah.
But too hard to predict. I just put him on the bench unless. I mean, if you got somebody decent to start, I'd definitely start Ayuk.
Well, let's bring up another player you were just talking about, Mooney or Ayuk.
Mooney.
Really?
Just done got to that.
Yeah.
Ayuk, his last 2 games, 8 points last game. The week before, 7. 12 the week before. That's his highest versus Denver. That's a tough one to me.
This is in PPR.
This is PPR, yep.
Mooney's been trending up, though, I feel like. Ayuk's just been staying kind of shitty.
Really kind of trending down from weeks 2 and 3. 8 targets weeks 2 and 3, and they've seen 4 the past couple weeks.
Yeah, so Kittle being back is 8 into it.
Yep, so Kittle, where do we stand on Kittle? I know it's tight ends. If you need a tight end, you know how we feel about him. Just it's a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Kittle, though? How are we feeling about him for the rest of this year, though?
I don't know, man. I had him last year, and he got me those 40-point games. I think he got multiple 40-point games last year. So I think he always has that boom potential, especially working with Jimmy G now, too. I just don't know. He is a little unreliable, especially with his injury risk, and they use him as a pass blocker all the time, run blocker. Yeah. So, I mean, the guy's a tremendous talent, but I just don't know if he's going to provide you those fantasy points that you need out of the position.
Got my brother right here, George Kittle owner. He was saying, what was you saying, my brother, talking about a player blocking?
There's something, I can't remember. There's a certain player that's been out that they said.
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams has been out. So George Kittle's been picking up some of the blocking slack.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I would still be looking to sell George Kittle, my brother. You got Pat Freiermuth on the bench. Ship him off to somebody who, But dynasty-wise, I'd be trying to ship off Kittle anyways, unless I'm just absolute in win-now mode. But then again, it's like not bad to have Kittle over a lot of these guys. So it's like it is what it is at the tight end spot. What y'all think?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I just don't know what I'd really pay for Kittle, though. What would you pay in a Dynasty League, Kraft?
Man, Dynasty for Kittle, I think you talked to the wrong one because I don't like Kittle at all. I think he misses more games than he plays.
Yeah, I'm with you there. He definitely has lingering shoulder issues, all kinds of stuff with the upper body.
The tight ends that are supposed to be good, him, Waller, Pitts, it's just been a total disappointment this year. And, I would put Kittle below them two in redraft and probably Dynasty too.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think Kittle had his best performance whenever one of those wide receivers was out last year, and that was really the only time that he put in a lot of that work when Debo shifted to that hybrid role and went into the running back.
Here's a crazy question for you. In Dynasty, do you want Kittle? You want Njoku?
Probably Njoku.
I want Njoku. I'm just being honest.
He looks good.
He looks
so it's getting bad.
Yeah,
he looks good. Kittle's just getting to the point where he's old, but it's like if you're in win-now mode, it's not a bad tight end to have. We got P. Miller in here. I said he was going to join us anytime. He done cracked him open a beer. Let's talk about the Falcons. To me, the only player really worth even playing is Drake London. Maybe Algier if you're in a pinch. Maybe. They're going against San Francisco, so I would really try to avoid that. Drake London, 4.5 catches, over and under on that crap.
Under.
4.5.
4.5 catches.
I'll say over just because he's going to get all that volume, I guess. But I really don't expect him to pass too much.
Shoot, there was one week where Mariota had 7 complete passes
I saw
in
that.
one game. I mean, they will have to throw against San Fran because they are not going to be able to run, but Atlanta actually can run the ball.
I saw where they had some injuries on that defensive line, too. I think Nick Bosa's out, and then there was another guy that was out, too. So, I mean, they might be able to run a little bit. Mariota might have a little time in that pocket.
There upset happening here?
I don't know if I'd say that now. But I made a bold prediction earlier with these guys. I said Mariota might get benched this week, and we might get to see Desmond Ridder.
No.
I don't know, man. He's
Maybe
just
in the
ass.
fourth quarter, if the game's a blowout, you might see him. But man, what about Kyle Pitts? Is he healthy this week? What's his situation?
They said they expect him to play.
Yeah,
Well, if he's playing, probably take the under on
Whatever it is.
Drake London.
one catch.
I'm saying Drake London take him the under because I mean
you
Kyle
saying
Pitts
Kyle
he'll at
Pitts?
least get one target. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think we can guarantee that one.
Kyle Pitts been doing a lot of blocking. To me,
God, man.
I say this all the time, Falcons. you can't use the 4th overall pick and go get a tight end to block. It's just quit buying on these little.
Is he a good blocker?
Yeah, well, I don't.
He's gotten better, but he's not made for blocking. He's basically a
just-
Calvin Johnson out there.
That's the coach, though. I mean, they got the Titans' old offensive coordinator, and that's what they do.
Yeah, for whatever
It don't matter.
reason.
He's not really going to game plan according to the personnel he got. He just wants to run that offense that he ran with the Titans. And, I mean, it's worked so far. I think everybody would say the Falcons are probably doing better than people thought they were going to do.
Agreed. I'm with you on that. I just, as a Falcons fan, button up, please, man. Y'all need to button it up. I get sick of dealing with y'all all the time. But, heck, let's just move on. We got New England headed to Cleveland. Mac Jones looks like he's back. Dunc is super excited about Ramondre Stevenson.
Hell yeah.
How about this one? We got an over and under with him, 98.5, rushing and receiving.
Over.
Ramondre Stevens, you hitting the over? Dunc says over pretty easily.
Ramondre might be number 1 running back this week. I mean, I'm all in on Ramondre this week.
Yeah.
Cleveland ain't even that good on
No, they're
defense
terrible.
right now. Whew, I think he's about to run it down their throats.
I got Ramondre in the league. I'm playing him. In fact, in the family league I'm in, I'm playing Ramondre Stevenson and Eno Benjamin in the same week this week. So,
Perfect.
so,
Hey, that is a perfect time for it.
yeah. Phil, Ramondre Stevenson, 98.5.
Yeah, over. Man, speaking of and him, I got them in one of my DFSs this weekend, man. That's funny you said that.
Yep.
So.
Good matchup.
Speaking of that,
I'm winning big time this week.
yeah, Phil's
Win that big money.
me and Phil gonna drop a little gambling episode tonight. I'm sure we'll hit on some Eno Benjamin. Cheap in the DFS. That's a good DFS play, about as good as you can get. Jacoby Myers.
Man, I've been liking Jacoby Myers here lately.
Yeah, been stepping it up, man. Let's see. Last week he got 24 points. He's been every game he's played, he's had double digits. And week 2 he had 13 targets. Week 5 he had 8 targets. So Jacoby Myers, I know you were higher on Jacoby before I was. I'm starting to buy into Jacoby now. I know last week they played with old Zappy or whatever the heck. Old Zappy was in there.
Zappy.
Because old Mac Jones was crying about a high ankle sprain, literally crying. They
It was,
literally crying. They tried it in him off, and he was like, I saw a little
Can't
picture of
scream.
him, Phil, and the dude was like full out yelling like my little baby, wanting some food or something like, ah! I couldn't believe it, but, Jacoby Myers, how do you feel about him? Is he an obvious start, Kraft?
I mean, I do think that Patriots are going to run it down Cleveland's throat. I don't think they're going to have to throw the ball much. But Jacoby Myers he's a definite flex play for me. I can't really think of any team, unless you're incredibly stacked, but Jacoby Myers is probably going to be in most lineups. I would want to have him in there. He's got a good floor.
Hey, got a touchdown last week, too. That man never gets those either.
Because I said that he was allergic to the end zone.
I
He
know.
heard me, and he heard me. He was like, I'm going to get in that damn end zone this week.
Listening to the Kraft, man.
Saquon listened too.
Yeah.
I was like, you bust?
Shoot, Jacoby Brissett, Superflex, borderline. Well, I'm gonna say borderline Superflex play, but I'm pretty sure he's a Superflex play at this point.
Yeah, he's a super flex play.
Nick Chubb, balling. Let's see. I know he was the number 1 running back. Now he's number 2
I
in
was about to say.
PPR leagues. You know how I feel about Nick Chubb. If he's pretty much the closest thing to Derrick Henry. If they would just give this dude the volume that he deserves, this dude would be a top fantasy pick every year. He still is a top pick every year, but Nick Chubb versus New England, Bill Belichick, he's over and under on rushing receiving is 103.5. I'm going to say under this week because Bill Belichick takes away your best option.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb is that best option in my opinion. You stop the run, you stop them, make Jacoby Brissett beat you. How do y'all feel about that one?
I think I'm going under, too, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing you said about he stops your best player, and I was thinking about Njoku and Amari Cooper, and I'm thinking that one of them two is gonna goose. They might goose. I don't know which one, but
Go ahead and say your boy Amari Cooper's going to goose. Go ahead and
Amari
say
Cooper,
it.
Amari Cooper will not score over 5 fantasy points this week, but you still got to play him though. Because he did have like 28 2 weeks in a row. So
Yeah. Kareem Hunt. How we feeling about Kareem Hunt? Is he an obvious start for you, Kraft?
yeah, I want y'all's opinion. Hunt, like just overall, you got the two backs: Hunt, Dillon, Pollard. Which one you like the best? Which one? Just rank them.
Hunt, Pollard, Dillon.
Dang.
Look, I'm gonna say Hunt, Pollard, Dillard. Go ahead, P. Miller. Say what you got to say.
I was just agreeing with Dunc. I said Hunt, Pollard, and Dillon, I think. It's just
Dillon's been trending down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pollard, I would put Pollard. I'd put Hunt, Dillon, Pollard, just because Pollard's getting about 8 carries a week. He busts a big run, but they need to give this man like 20 carries.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This dude's like what Jonathan Taylor was last year if they just give him the volume on bout. I mean, look at that guy. Every time he touches the ball. But then the next week, he'll like not even get in nothing, so I don't know.
Y'all find any like similarities of when Zeke got paid and to when he started sucking?
Seemed to, be correlated.
I feel like he was like kind of okay, but nothing like the money. You can't go pay these running backs. I'm not paying running backs like that. I sure ain't paying wide receiver. I would pay a wide receiver, but you could pick running backs off the street, man, that could come in and produce and give you some time, give you some work. So it's like,
Hell, just go get Gibson.
yeah, seriously.
Look
Man.
like Devin Singletary every week. He's
Yeah.
just somebody I found off the street, threw in there.
Man,
Exactly.
I was actually talking about a trade with some guy, I think earlier this week, talking about Zeke for a 23 second rounder. Would you do it?
Yes.
You
Well,
would?
Wait, you'll take the second rounder or Zeke?
I mean, I traded him for a first before the season started.
Yeah.
And
I did too.
Yeah.
Oh, looking good.
Yeah.
Damn, I think all three of y'all did, yeah.
Phil. While we're on this topic, though, I think I would take a second. Another running back who's getting like Zeke. If you can get rid of James Conner after he has a good game, trade him, get a first or a second as soon as he blows up one game.
And Kraft's saying that because he just sold James Conner to Phil over here, who just bought him. So, Phil, give us a little take on James Conner real quick.
Yo, he has not been doing good at all, bro. But look for him to I'm injured, the first half of the season.
Some rib injury.
I'll play in the second half. Don't worry, guys. He'll probably get you some big games later in the season. And that's when I really want him to get big games because that's going to be in, like, the playoff territory, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's when he's going to get you the victories. I'm saying it.
Well, Phil, tell him what you got James Conner for.
Man, I traded the Kraft man on Lazard.
Dude, the lizard, he cold-blooded.
God, that
Yeah,
sounds
I mean,
booty.
he's
Who would you take?
Over Connor?
I mean, would you have accepted that trade? A redraft?
I don't know, man. They're both kind
I'll
of
say this.
mid-tier
He's
guys.
probably
I don't know.
going to get you, like, a better average each week. I'll say that.
think I'd take
Lazard
Connor.
will.
Aaron Rodgers loves Lazard. They're,
He
they're
does
sleeping
love-
in the same bed right now.
Buddy's in the same sleeping bag.
I
Exactly.
need, like, a
But
double
see, I
king size
feel
bed.
different. I'm with you over that. Connor is definitely underperformed, but I think when DeAndre Hopkins comes back and this offense gets a little kicking and they get more goal line opportunities, I think he will get some more touchdowns. Unless, Benjamin just looks great this week and starts eating more into it like he
I
has
think
been.
Randall Cobb, baby. Randall Cobb's going to get more action.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
stop.
When it comes later in the season towards the playoffs, they're getting fired up. Look for him. He's going to be getting touchdowns every week. I'm saying that.
I want to say something about what Phil just said. I might start Randall Cobb this week. I'm in a pinch. I'm going to start Randall Cobb if I got to.
Who are they playing?
They play the Jets.
Oh, yeah, I might
We
start
gon-
him.
I'm
We
starting
gonna
Zach
lose.
Wilson, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, man. Before we move, we're getting to that point where there's no choice. You're going to have to put in players.
What game are we even on?
The Browns. Real quick, before we even move on, Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Bell. Any luck for those wide receivers?
The only one I feel comfortable with is Amari, I guess.
An obvious start?
Yeah.
An obvious start, but
got
I don't
to.
feel comfortable.
Kraft, an obvious start? I got to make sure.
His ceiling's high, man.
Yeah, his ceiling is high.
How Kraft has come so far. Went from being you can't roster him to now he's an obvious star. Njoku, I feel like we're all kind of high on Njoku.
Obvious
at this point.
star.
Number
Especially
8 tight end and it's kind of breaking out. So I want to let's just move on.
Man, are you in joking me, bro?
We got the Jets. We got Green Bay up in here. Phil just said he's starting Zach Wilson, the MILF god. He's out there MILF searching. We got.
He needs to get his mind right, bro. Nah, he's out there catching touchdowns. He throws them. He runs for them.
Hey, man.
He's doing it all.
He's doing the gritty out there, too. Pretty good. Pretty smooth.
And my boy Brees Hall, he's paying off. He's paying off. Look at him.
Hey, that week that Brees Hall and Michael Carter, whenever they scored those touchdowns that week, I had them both in my lineup. I was like, yeah, your boy. I played both running backs. I got a Brees Hall question for y'all, though. I know we've kind of said this already on the podcast, but another week has gone by. Dynasty-wise, where do we see Brees Hall? Where are we ranking him? Phil, you feel like you're pretty high on Brees Hall as of now.
He's like grinning like hell.
I'm high on Brees Hall right now. Phil, ranking wise, man, where?
He dreams of Brees Hall.
Yeah, where do you put Brees Hall?
You wake up with a you know what.
Man.
Well, Woody.
You know, I haven't. You know, I've had time to think about this, but I haven't thought about this. So I'm just gonna think about it right now on the spot, and I'm gonna say at random, I think he's at number 5.5.
Like
Over
RBs?
Over and under 5.5 dynasty ranking, Kraft.
You talking about RBs or overall?
Running back, no, running back.
Okay.
I'm going over 5.5. I mean, off the top of my head, he's over Najee. He got JT in front of him. Man,
Swift.
but do you?
I think it's debatable, but I would take Swift.
I mean,
right now.
I'd say top 3. I mean, you got Swift.
I'd say top 3, too.
Yeah. I would put Brees Hall at number 3. Kenneth Walker with the Rashad Penny thing, he's creeping up there. Well, I need to see it with my eyes, but
Yeah.
as far as opportunity looks right now,
He looked good for the opportunity he had last week, for sure.
I tried to trade Najee for Kenneth Walker.
Really? Wow. That's
Didn't get it.
Wow.
There's no debate between Jonathan Taylor and Brees Hall. No debate.
No.
I'm actually kind of with you. I think there might be a debate, especially with how Indianapolis has been looking here recently with their offensive line and quarterback play, the offense in general.
Yeah.
These Jets do look good, man. And I know they got a good offensive line, good weapons. Zach Wilson looks a little better.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's
Brees
close.
Hall, number 9 overall right now.
He's putting in work in redraft, too.
As a
I mean,
rookie.
we're talking about top 5 in dynasties, number 9 in redraft.
Yeah.
And this is all based on, we know rookies have a better second half.
Yeah.
I think they got an easier schedule in the second half, too.
Oh,
At least
yeah,
I'm
their
pretty sure.
schedule was super rough. We went through it in the first, but it ended up easing up because the Browns ended up not being all that hot. And the Dolphins, they played them at a great time. So, I mean, the Jets are trending up, and they played the Packers this week like we're talking about. Every time I talk about the Packers, I don't know what the Packers are favored by, but they're probably favored by like 6 to 8. Pick the Jets. The Packers might win this game, but they don't beat anybody very hard. I told y'all both times on the gambling episodes, man, they don't ever beat nobody by much.
I like the Packers.
Get out of here, Phil.
Man, I just don't understand.
I like Aaron Rodgers.
They just don't even make sense to me. Like I said, they had 2 downs to convert it. Aaron Jones is running all over them, and they're just like, nah, we'll pass it. Why not?
I'm
Yeah.
with you. Packers got some problems.
We need to get some ayahuasca in here.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, man.
Invite Aaron Rodgers on. He can
Yeah.
drink some. He goes to hook up.
We'll reflect with Aaron Rodgers. We'll reflect over what's been happening.
Meditate.
And
We'll record that one and
yeah.
I have to listen to that one before we post that.
Yeah. Before we move on to more of the Packers, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. Let me ask you this question: Corey Davis or Elijah Moore?
Corey Davis.
In what, redraft?
Redraft.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm still high on Elijah Moore.
Man, I was saying he was droppable.
I don't think so. I ain't had him, so like.
Oh, he's been frustrated.
I mean, I know he's been bad, but when you don't have somebody, you kind of look at him different than the owner who's been getting just killed by him.
You gotta stick
Yeah.
him in when you got an injury and a bye week, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta stick him in.
I mean, it's hard to predict right now.
Well, shoot, Phil just said it. Injury in a bye week. My lineup in the redraft league this week. Check this out, Dunc. This is who I literally have to play this week. I have Elijah Moore in my lineup. I have DJ Moore in my lineup. Hey, hold on, it gets worse, Dunc. It gets worse. I had to go pick up Allen Robinson off the waiver wire. I got A-Rob in my lineup. That's what I'm rolling with this week, man.
That's pretty bad. I'm not even gonna lie. Wait, so you got your number one is DJ Moore or Elijah Moore?
My number one is really A.J. Brown, and then my other one is Amon-Ra. He's on a bye week.
You got 3 flexes in that?
Is that right? 3 flexes? Is that
2
how it
flex.
works? 2 flex? Something.
His team is just that bad.
Yeah.
He scored 60-something points last week.
I got guys like Jonathan Taylor. I got Dobbins. But then Amon-Ra's missed a couple weeks. Has killed me.
He actually got a pretty good team. He just had a really – he's 3-2.
3-2, and I went against the number 1 guy last week, and he just smacked me. So it doesn't even look
You
like
smacked yourself.
Well, yeah.
Your team smacked you.
Jonathan Taylor being out hurts because when you use your one-on-one on the guy, if he ain't getting you points that week, it just sucks.
Oh, I agree. That's what happened to me in that super flex we got going on that best ball. I drafted Jonathan Taylor above Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes. That's stupid.
Ooh, dang, and a super flex.
Yeah, but both of my quarterbacks went down. I drafted Trey Lance and I got Jameis, and both of them dudes
Feeling good about it.
shit the bed.
I got a question for y'all about Elijah Moore. I asked my brother this the other day because he has Garrett Wilson on his dynasty team, and he's like, Garrett Wilson. You look up Garrett Wilson right quick, man. I ain't got my phone
Got
out.
him up right here.
What's his just his points this year, week by week?
On the game log for Garrett Wilson, he's the number 27 wide receiver on the year. Week 1 was 9, week 2 was 30, then went 12, 6, and 5. So he's pretty much had one blow-up week and then kind of tailed off. Been a little quarterback, switching around, stuff like that.
Yeah. They've been more run heavy here lately. Zach Wilson hasn't really been passing that much from what I've seen.
Well, what I was asking him was when, and it's different now. They're a different team, but when was the last time the Jets had a good wide receiver?
Keyshawn Johnson.
I was thinking Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall.
How long was that?
A long time.
Exactly. When was it's about the time that the Lions had a good running back, but they finally got one. But you know, I think my advice for Garrett Wilson is kind of temper your expectations in Dynasty because he is extremely high. I feel like right now.
Yeah. Okay. So you saying you might flip him? Time to sell high?
I wouldn't say flip him. I just think that when you get offers for him, to be open to him because I mean I listen to a lot of podcasts and they're talking about like. I would definitely take Olave. I would definitely take Drake London.
Yeah.
But Garrett Wilson had that one big game, and everybody's kind of like, Garrett Wilson. I mean, he could be great, but you got Elijah Moore there. If you're looking to trade in Dynasty, I would target Elijah Moore over Garrett Wilson. He's only 1 year difference.
I think I'll have to disagree with that. I don't agree with that one. Just because Elijah Moore hasn't shown anything this season for me.
Well,
But Garrett Wilson only had the 1 game.
Well, real quick, Dunc. I got a question for Kraft, too, since he just dropped one. Dynasty-wise, Garrett Wilson or Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, it'll be Jerry. I mean, it'll be
I still say Wilson.
I'd say Garrett Wilson.
You would? Okay.
Yeah.
Same, but, you know, just had a trade like that kind of go down.
There
was other parts to it, but.
Russ has got signed a contract, and, I mean, if you ask me this in 3 weeks and Russell Wilson looks like the old Russell Wilson, then it's Jeudy.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
I mean, I got to go with what I see so far.
That's what's been so frustrating about Jeudy, man. He's getting the separation. He's getting clear of his cornerbacks. This man Russ just can't connect with him, man. Russ is just terrible. That whole offense is just taking a hit.
Game are we on? Jets and Packers. Kraft, talk some Packers for us.
All right, Packers are the best team in the NFL.
Oh, God.
They are. They will be in the NFC Championship and lose to the 49ers this year like they usually do, but
Nostradamus.
But no, they probably gonna make the playoffs. But we're talking fantasy here, so you got Lazard. He's a flex start every week. He's been putting up double digits. He's getting targets. He's either had 100 yards or a touchdown in every game he's played this year. Lazard's in your lineup. Romeo Dubs. Is he in your lineup?
Romeo.
Man, he busted last week, didn't he? He didn't really do anything, right?
It's him or Scantlin.
Probably Dubs.
I'm going
still.
Dubs.
Yeah, I'd probably say Dubs still.
DJ Moore, Dubs.
Dubs, yeah, I'd say
Dubs.
Elijah Moore, Dubs.
Garrett Wilson.
That was a little bit tougher for me. I would say Wilson, but it's
Same.
kind of a
I'm
wash.
gonna say Wilson.
PJ Walker.
While my brother's here, I asked this question last week, but I know he didn't hear it. Dynasty-wise, Dubs or Christian Watson?
It's Dubs easily. I answered that last week.
Dubs too.
I'm sorry, John. You can blame me for that one.
He says Christian Watson.
Well, no, I was giving him advice for that rookie draft, and then this is what we came up with, and now I'm looking at it. If Christian Watson catches that first pass at the beginning of the year, I'll probably view him so much different, you know, that deep bomb, and he just drops it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he looks like shaky, especially with knowing Aaron Rodgers. You never know how long he's going to be here. I'd probably roll with Dubs over Watson, too, but I ain't giving up on Watson now. But the dude needs to button up a little bit and, you know,
Where would you put Dubs though in like your dynasty rankings? Because everybody talks about Rodgers being gone in 2 years, but if you get to thinking about it, with the great receivers, you got Drake London. What's happening with Mariota? You got Chris Olave. What's happening with that quarterback situation? Garrett Wilson. He's tied to Zach Wilson. So is everybody ranking Dubs too low because they don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going to be? Because these other guys don't really have quarterback.
Well, I think you're seeing these guys perform without quarterback play. Dubs is kind of borderline there with a great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And behind him, what we're seeing is Jordan Love. Every time I've seen him play, I haven't really been.
He's a piece of
booty, just straight booty. So it's like, I don't know, man. Honestly, I would try to sell Dubs at some point. I got Dubs in a dynasty league with the fam. They really didn't even know I had him. I just kind of looked down. I was like, what? Dubs? I got Dubs. I'll hit the jackpot later.
That's an 8-man league, ain't it?
No, it's a 12-man league. 12-man.
Well, damn,
and it ended up being a little more competitive than I thought. I'm 1-4 in that league. Just got my first win too, man.
You talking against like your little cousins and stuff?
Yeah, dude. Listen, hold on, man. I was talking to old P. Miller's in that league. A dude. This is as casual as a league as it can get. A dude took Josh Allen in the first round, and it's paying off. It's paying off.
It's non-super flex.
He's way better than every other quarterback this year. I mean, by far.
You're taking a quarterback in the first round, though?
I mean, I'm not. That's not usually my ordeal, but
it's not usually anybody's ordeal, I don't think.
But when you think about it from
Dynasties, you know.
Well, you talking about dynasty?
It's a dynasty league.
I
It's
didn't
a
even
dynasty.
know it was dynasty too.
Yeah, it's a dynasty. As simple as a league it can be.
I would still love to have Josh Allen in the first. He's been the number one quarterback the past 2 years, and he's going to be the number one quarterback this year. So if you can just lock that in every year in dynasty, and even in a one quarterback league, it's not a bad pick.
Man, I swindled these guys in a redraft league. It's a redraft 2 QB league, but they never really played 2 QB before. And I was the last pick, and I got Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson back to back.
Dunc always be swindling people. Ask Doug Hinton. Wait. We looking at Doug Hinton right now, though. I see him across the table right now, though.
Doug, are you real? Are you a real person?
Hold up now.
Why are you making these trades, Doug?
Oh, look, that trade has backfired a lot on me now. I'm 1-4.
Oh, yeah,
in that
your
league.
team is Duke.
Dunc combined two
team's
teams
bad.
and is 1-4. Right now. Come on, man.
Doug Hinton is projected 50 points this week. In a 2 QB, 3 flex league.
Is this starting lineup full though? Is this starting lineup?
But he's
full?
got Zach Wilson. Let's go, baby.
Yep, it might have hit the jackpot with Zach Wilson. We'll have to see. Randall Cobb, only if you're in a pinch. And I'm in a pinch, so I'm starting
Corn
him.
on the Randall Cobb.
Get to these RBs.
Corn on the Randall Cobb, P. I agree.
Let's talk about this Aaron Jones. I love to hear about him.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
Aaron
I love
Jones,
Aaron
A.J.
Jones.
Dillon, we've been looking at this backfield all year. I love Aaron Jones. Shoot. We
Man,
all
he
love
just
him.
plays hard, man.
He runs reckless abandon, man. I feel like he runs harder than anybody in the whole entire league.
Yeah, you don't give him 2 downs to get a first down. What, 2nd and 4? Just don't even run the ball.
So underrated, too. People back in the day said he was the poor man's Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is the poor man's Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Hey, I got both of them. I'll take both of them.
Like A.J. Dillon, what are we doing with this guy? Before the year, I said he was a high RB3. He's running back number 34 right now.
What you doing?
P, what do you think about A.J. Dillon? What are we doing
Yeah,
with this guy?
I was just saying in the background, that's a perfect ranking for a high-end RB3.
He almost ain't even that, though, so it's like...
He's been looking
he's
bad,
been terrible.
man.
He's starting to trend towards RB4 range. I might be wrong on that, P.
Yeah, just give him some time. He just needs a little love. That's all. Give him a little time.
I don't know, man. Aaron Jones looking just a lot better.
Yeah.
So might as well get the ball to the guy who looks better, really.
Well, Aaron Jones' success is A.J. Dillon's success. Like, if one does better, the other one's going to get more playing time as well, which means more fantasy points. So the better one does, the other one's going to do better too. That's the way I see these double backfields like that.
You got Jones top 10 this week?
I would say, yeah.
Man, I think Dillon's a good play this week too.
Really?
Oh.
I think Dillon's a great play. I mean, last week it was his lowest of the year. He only played 32% of snaps and 6. He only had 6 rushing attempts. He's been
That's gone.
10, 18, 12, 17 rushing attempts.
You saying you'd want to play him this week?
I want to play A.J. Dillon this week. I think the Packers, we're all talking about it.
Yeah.
They should have ran last week.
Yeah.
The
They gonna do
coaches
it this
seen that
time.
too.
Let's
They
hope
gonna
so.
run it.
P done turned into a Jets fan. It seems like.
Hey, I like the Jets. I'm not
He
gonna
just
lie.
hates the
I kind
Packers.
of like them too, though. To be honest. Tunyon.
No.
We're talking
Not
about a
even
tight
for-
end, though, man.
No,
I might have put him
not
in there.
even. Not even.
Tight end
You
number
got-
17.
You got his numbers. What's his highest yards total? Just yards.
Yards, receiving yards,
40.
37.
Okay.
Yeah, I was right.
The answer is no.
Would you do him or Evan Ingram?
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram.
Easily?
You can say any name. Maybe not any name, but
Kyle Pitts.
yes.
Dang, it's like that.
37 yards, man. If he scores a touchdown, that's still only 9 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, let's just move it on, man. We got Jacksonville headed to Indianapolis.
Stinker.
Trevor Lawrence, Matt Ryan. Trevor Lawrence is a super flex play. Matt Ryan, to me, is a borderline super flex play. Like, you might have to play him, but jeez.
This man was trying to ship him
Yeah.
to me, too.
You need to take it, too, with your 1 and 4 ass over there.
Hey, I got to get something better.
P. Miller says he just dropped Matt Ryan. Just
Empty.
straight dropped.
That's in a super flex?
What league was that, Phil, where you dropped
That
him?
was that Dynasty Family League.
Dynasty
The
Family.
super flex? or
One quarterback league.
Oh, yeah, of course. You're not even having him on
Yeah,
the
probably
roster,
not
though.
having him on the roster. Definitely
I'm like, here, you got
Matt Ryan. I'm not gonna blame it all on Matt Ryan, but he's clearly old. Clearly declined even from last year.
That offensive line looks worse.
Man, Dunc, I had a little debate with David on the text. David's like, "Oh, they're giving him plenty of time." Like, come on,
I don't think
you
so.
can't tell me
That was
that
awesome,
O line was not struggling that night, man. That O line was
That was-
struggling.
Yeah,
So-
that O-line was struggling. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, his pocket was collapsing almost every time, and the dude was having a run out, and he's not a mobile quarterback, so what
it's
the hell is he
over
going to
with.
do? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
But he looked bad. Like, Matt Ryan's
bad.
horrible.
He's bad.
Well, what y'all saying about the O-line not giving time? How do y'all feel about Michael Pittman? He's a deep threat, and they can't throw the ball deep.
Faded.
Man, faded, man. I was so high on Pittman. I would have given up 2 first rounds plus for Pittman before the year.
David, you're
Seriously.
looking like a clown now. This man, I asked him what he wanted for Pittman. He said, "You got to give me Chase." I said, "What in the fuck are you talking about?"
You give me chase.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, Pittman. All right, we're just doing a regular redraft trade here. Where?
got
Well, we
him
don't
in
even
that
do a
redraft.
trade. Just what receivers are you ranking around Pittman? You want Judy or Pittman?
I
want
still take
Pittman over Judy.
just because the volume's there for
Take
him.
DJ Moore.
Alan Lazard, Alan Lazard or Pittman?
Pittman.
Pittman. I ain't ranking him that low.
Yeah, I'm not ranking him that low. He's
He's
still
number-
wide receiver 2 to me.
Metcalf over Pittman.
I would take Metcalf now. I
It's
would take
debatable.
Metcalf.
I'm gonna be honest with the way Geno Smith's playing.
But
Yeah.
I'm not high on Geno Smith for the rest of the season. I think this is a little bit him playing at the best
About
football
Lockett.
he's ever played. Lockett, I still would take. Man, it's
Redraft.
close, but I would still take Pittman.
Speaking of Lockett, he might miss this week.
Yeah.
So
What's wrong with him?
He just had a hamstring thing pop up on Thursday. He was running. He said, my hamstring's done.
Bro.
So, like,
I still got Pittman. I think he's top 20 and maybe even top 15 just because, like I said, the volume's going to be there. But, man, this offense, fade that shit.
got
For
to.
real.
I asked my buddy the question today, and I was saying, man, name these offenses who look like struggled and rank them which ones you think are going to get better. You got the Rams, Bengals, Broncos, Colts.
Bengals, Broncos, Rams, Colts.
So you don't think Rams going to get it together?
I think they will, but I think those two offenses I named before, what was it, the Bengals and who did I say?
It's the Bengals, Rams, Broncos, Colts.
I think the Bengals and the Broncos will improve before the Rams will for sure. And I think the Colts, I don't even know if they will improve in all honesty.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with Dunc on that one. The only one that's debatable is Broncos, Rams.
Yeah, it's debatable for
It's
sure.
debatable.
It can
Other than
alternate.
that,
So
y'all,
I got
don't
the
feel,
Bengals.
y'all don't feel like the Colts are done already.
I think they're done,
I
dude.
think that was this is Matt Ryan's
Man,
last
they
year.
just lost to the Texans.
So JT, you've done kind of.
Listen,
He's still top 5, but man, he is not RB1 this year.
Listen, this is what brings me back to the conversation when we was talking about Breece Hall. This offense is bad. Jonathan Taylor hasn't been to the standard we need him to be, and I'm not saying it's all his fault either.
Right? Yeah.
That's why, to me, Breece Hall and Jonathan Taylor is a debatable conversation to have. I'd probably still lean Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, dynasty-wise.
But see, that's my thing. I might leave Breece Hall just because he's younger, and the offense seems like it's improving.
I know. I'm
We're
telling
talking
you, man.
about younger though. We're talking about 21 to 23 years
true.
old. but-
True.
I mean, I'm taking the Colts because they do look bad this year. I'm taking JT in Dynasty because the Colts, they're not going to stick with Matt Ryan next year. I feel like the Colts are not an organization who lays down and it's just going to be like we're rebuilding. They'll go out and sign some kind of
Bring
old-ass quarterback again.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz I would say he's looking pretty good.
They
but
should have
he
went and
sucks,
got
too.
Jimmy G is what they should have got.
Before we
The offensive line's a problem.
Yeah, before we talk about Jacksonville, Alex Pierce, been
Hey, add that
roster
dude.
him
Yeah.
up.
Man, looks
15
good.
last week, 15 PPR fantasy points last week.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking Alec Pierce, to be honest with you. Definitely, I wouldn't mind having him in Dynasty. Redraft, though, what are we saying about this guy? Maybe stash him? I mean, is it kind of...
I think he's getting close to startable because everything we
Yeah.
said about them not having time to throw the ball deep, Alec Pierce has been the underneath guy.
He's a Hunter Renfro type, really.
Yeah, I mean he's a little bigger than Renfro. You know he can
I think
stretch,
he's
he can
faster
stretch the
than him,
field.
too. Yeah.
But they unless they change the scheme with Michael Pittman, and if he's just running 9 routes and deep routes, like he's not going to be valuable. But I think they're going to try to get the ball in Pittman's hands, and I think Pierce is probably a safe PPR play because he's been getting
He
the
gets
work.
a lot of volume, man. That's what I'm saying. Where's Pittman at right now? What's his ranking?
Pittman is 30 wide receiver rate in PPR.
Man, I didn't know he was that low.
30.
I did not.
So
know
we're
he
talking
was that
about
low.
wide receiver 3 range.
We had him ranked in the top. Was it the top 10?
If I didn't
I had
have him
him
in the
almost.
12, I had him
12
in the
or
top
13.
14,
I had him
15.
close with A.J. Brown at number 8, really. Yeah, I'm telling you. I was high on Michael Pittman.
I was high on him too, though. I'm with Dunc. I was super high on Pittman.
Sutton or Pittman, 2 bad offenses.
Sutton.
I'm taking Sutton. I'm just being honest.
But I'm also a Judy guy, and I think more will go his way when Russ starts improving, so I'll bank on Cortland Sutton getting less and less volume as it goes on. But, man, I still would take Sutton for right now for sure.
Jacksonville, the backfield, James Robinson, Travis Etienne. James Robinson's his production starting to come down. Etienne starting to get a little more involved. What are we doing with this running back room right here? I'm not totally discounting Robinson. That still though, I would still probably play Robinson, especially if I didn't have bye weeks and injuries coming up. So I would still play Robinson over Etienne in my opinion. But
Does ETN have a touchdown yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was about to say,
But-
I know James Robinson does get that goal line work for sure.
Yep, no touchdowns so far. So
But, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Travis Etienne. I'm definitely thinking you got to stash him, save him for when these people just, I don't know.
I've been saying he's buy
Need
low
him.
for dynasty and redraft. So,
Yeah.
but I'm a Clemson guy. I've seen this guy play for years. I buy into ETN. Mm-hmm. I will tell. I'm honest about Clemson guys. I'll tell you if I ain't buying into him. I'm kind of buying out of Trevor Lawrence. Definitely not fading him to, like Mac Jones land or anything like that. But
You still got him top 10 Dynasty QB ranking? Or in the top 10?
I don't
for
know if I
Dynasty
had
QB?
him in the top 10, but I think I had him like 11, 12. I
So
may
right
have had
outside
him
of
10.
it?
Trey Lance ain't in there no more.
No,
Nah,
I
he's
would have
not.
never had Trey Lance over Lawrence.
Justin Fields
Never.
ain't in there no
I
more.
would have never had Fields.
What about Zach Wilson, though? Zach
That
Wilson
one's
or
debatable
Trevor
to me.
Lawrence?
That we're starting to get debatable with Wilson and Lawrence. I would have said Lawrence easily before the year, but we're starting to get debatable, and they're actually surrounding Wilson with some weapons. The only thing that backs me up off them is he's on the Jets.
Oh, shoot. Trevor Lawrence got weapons. Christian Kirk,
Hey, he-
Zay Jones.
They're all right.
man, Christian Kirk was looking bad last week, though.
Yeah, Christian Kirk right now
We
is
just
wide
keep
receiver
going.
19.
Me and you keep going back and forth. One week you're like,
Yeah.
what about Christian Kirk? I told you. And then the next week I'm like, what about Christian Kirk? I told
He's
you.
stealing
You like
way
him like
ahead
that?
where I ranked
No, he
him.
likes him a lot. Before the season, I said they were all even. I said Marvin Jones, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, they're all kind of mediocre players. But he was high on Christian Kirk, and he proved me wrong to start. But it's just like back and forth. But I would say he's still outperformed what I thought he was going to do.
He's
so
still
I'd say
outperforming where I had him.
Matt was right.
He's
I
still
was
a
too
must
far down on
start for
him.
sure, but I agree with you. I think he's definitely getting faded now just because we see how low his floor is and how low this Jacksonville offense can get.
It's Trevor Lawrence. It's either we talked about before the episode. He's either playing like lights out, or it's just
Inconsistent.
It's like Carson
right now.
Wentz right now. You know,
Yeah.
it's either like he's just doing great, or it's just you don't even want to watch it.
He had more turnovers that last week too, didn't he, against the Texans?
I know that one week I don't
he
think
had
it was
4
last
fumbles,
week.
right? Or
Yeah,
something
that
like
was
that.
that was in the rain. I watched a little bit of that game, and they were mishandling snaps. It was so
Against Philly,
wet. So I mean, I was kind of giving it a pass, but Christian Kirk, you know, he was single digits the past 2 weeks. Went off the first 3. Would have been a good time to sell him, but
Yeah,
honestly,
he
I
might.
would still hold Christian
Targets
Kirk.
are there. Didn't he have last
still
week? How many
getting volume.
targets?
Last week he only had 3. Other than
I
that, he's
thought
been
it was
getting
the 9 one. The 9 one was the game.
I think
before,
Evan
right?
Ingram
9
was the leading
targets.
receiver there. Maybe it was
12, 6, 9, 9, 3. That's what
That's-
we're looking at.
12, 6, 9, 9. That's
I'd probably continue to hold Kirk
yeah.
if I was.
I would say.
Oh, I would definitely hold him. I think he's still definitely a flex play.
How
We just
old is
signed him
Kirk?
that wide receiver
Kirk
too.
is-
I think he's 25.
pretty young.
Maybe
Yep,
26.
25.
Okay, yeah.
So Zay Jones only in a pinch, in my opinion. I've played him a couple times, and it has kind of come through.
I think him
somewhat.
and Alec Pierce are kind of in the same category for me, really.
Is he playing? Zay Jones?
I think he is playing this week. I think I seen he was back. Oh, but let me go before questionable for week 6 still. So
What's the injury though?
ankle.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't- he's out. I'm
I
out.
wouldn't play him.
Yeah, I was
if
about to say, yeah, I'm
wouldn't-
out of that.
Wouldn't try
I
to.
only. It's even hard. Like T. Higgins last week. You know, he had an ankle, and he's an elite player.
Yeah.
I'm not playing no middling player on an ankle or hamstring or nothing. I'll just find somebody else.
Yeah, man, that's the thing too. I'm with you, especially those lower body, anything hamstring, ankle related. I'm out on, man. I'm not playing.
Unless it's like Jonathan Taylor or Nick Chubb or something like that, you got to throw them in your lineup. But if it's just like we're talking Zay Jones right here, like
Well,
just
well,
go find somebody.
Since we're talking about this matchup too, what do you expect from Jonathan Taylor out of this week? You expect him top 10?
Well, he's still
Performance?
questionable. The coach said he expects him. Well, I don't even know if expects was the right word. I forgot what he said. He said,
Just optimistic that he plays.
I imagine
Yeah,
he's going to play. Never really missed games anyways.
No.
Had to miss last week.
But Naeem Hines got the concussion. He might come back. I think.
I think he plays.
Deion Jackson.
It's
isn't that his
scary.
name?
Deion
It's still
Jackson might
scary.
be a.
You think he is top 10 if he does play?
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say no. He wasn't top 10 when he was healthy.
Shoot.
Yeah, I guess you're right, man.
Well, shoot.
We
Let's
just talked about that offensive line being they got beat 24-0 by Jacksonville last time they played them, and they're favored to win this game.
I'm gonna look at that line. I
That
might
is
be
kinda
hitting
crazy.
that Jacksonville
Yeah, I was about
line
to
right
say,
there.
wait, hold on. Where are they playing at? They're playing at Jacksonville? Or they're playing at Indianapolis?
We always be looking
at
at
Indianapolis.
Matt got that sleeper app on.
I got it up, man. I got the games up.
I don't think it matters too much, man. Yeah, I might be with Kraft on here. Yeah, he might be outside the top 10. I saw some rankings. Shit, they had him at barely even cracking the top 25.
It's tough, man.
It is
when,
tough.
when you don't know if he's gonna be on a snap count or.
Well, plus, like, the touchdowns, man, they're just not there. That offense is not
No.
getting in the red zone.
He had 18 touchdowns last year. There ain't no way they might not even have 18 red zone opportunities, man. They're so terrible.
Fade this offense, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
Shoot, let's move it on, man. Got Minnesota headed to Miami.
Oh, God.
Let's just go ahead and hit Miami first because they're down 2 quarterbacks, so they're down.
I know. Yeah, that's
They're,
crazy.
they're
man.
going to Skylar Thompson. What do you do with these? Every player on Miami. Let's just go ahead and just discuss it right here.
Well, I know they're kind of hurt, too, aren't they?
Yeah, banged up. Tyreek Hill, he's
expected to play?
okay. Hold on, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are good to go.
Oh, all
So
right.
they're in, but they're down. They're down to a 3rd string quarterback. What are we doing with these guys? Kraft's over there taking a piss right now. This dude sat out Jalen Waddle last night for Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson did score a touchdown, so it could have paid off.
I might would do that, man. I know you're talking about the dink and dunks and having that, close to the line of scrimmage play for them, but man, I just don't know. This offense entirely, like, I feel like they can key in on that, really, especially with this quarterback play. I don't know, man. They're obvious fades. I think Tyreek Hill is still wide receiver 1, maybe top 12, but I think Waddle, I think he's lucky to be top 24, top 25, really, man. I'm just not super high on him. Especially, I think he had a groin injury, too.
Yeah.
And he was kind of struggling. And then I don't know what was wrong with Tyreek Hill, but that's a little concerning for me just with those lower body injuries like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill was dealing with a foot and quadriceps, and Jalen Waddle's dealing with a groin. Groin's another injury that I don't like to.
Yeah, I don't like to mess with that either, man. I'm
That's
telling you,
tough.
anything lower body related, I don't like to mess with, especially with a wide receiver or running back. So wait, what did Tyreek Hill do last week?
Tyreek Hill last week, still number 4 overall in PPR leagues. Last week had 13 points versus the Jets, 7 for 7.
Man, I mean that's good, right? But
47 yards to the dink and dunk. It's just the upside is capped.
the upside is capped. That's my
So-
thing, man. And I think his floor is still there. Like I said, he's going to get the volume. What really is hurt by this QB play is Waddle, in all honesty.
Yeah.
What did Waddle do last week?
Waddle, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Waddle's still the number 7 wide receiver, but last year 5 points, 2 weeks in a row of 5 fantasy points, basically being carried by that 40-point performance against Baltimore.
Yeah,
That's
so
what's got him up so high.
I think they're kind of in agreement with us then. We got Tyreek Hill above Waddle, clearly.
Yeah.
And I think Tyreek Hill getting the volume that he is, I mean, he's a clear start, but, man, he's not as
So
high
at
up.
4.5 receptions, we're taking the under on Waddle right there. 4.5.
I think I'm close to hitting that under. I think it might go over, just slightly, though.
Yeah.
I'm not confident in that QB play down in Miami, man.
It's pretty tough because I was thinking about it because I got Waddle on my team. And last week, Teddy Bridgewater started, concussion on the first play. They didn't have time to game plan for Skyler. This week they did. Does that mean they're going to get the ball out of his hands quick to Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle? I still don't like Waddle this week. I got this. I mean, I already know who I'm playing in my Yahoo league, but I want y'all's opinion to see what y'all say. Like, how far Waddle goes down in y'all's rankings this week. Waddle or Isaiah McKenzie?
I'd still go Waddle,
I would
just
go
for the
Waddle.
name, really.
I'm going McKenzie.
But, yeah,
They're
man,
going
I
to be
don't-
in a high-scoring
54
game.
That's what I'm
over,
saying.
54 point over under.
But wasn't McKenzie dealing with an injury
He's
before?
back from the concussion.
Oh, it was just a concussion. Never mind. I didn't know if it was something.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm flipping on that. In a high-scoring game like that, you're definitely taking the over. It was like 54. I already done looked that one up. I'm
All
with
the
you.
Bills' weapons are back. Dawson Knox is back. Gabe Davis is all the way healthy.
See, I know you're the analytics guy. What is Minnesota against the pass, really? Is their defense all right?
Shoot, I'd have to look that up. Minnesota.
Well,
From
shoot.
what I know, I don't think they are, though.
Well, shoot.
Who, Minnesota?
Yeah.
We're talking about KC.
Well, that was.
We were talking about the matchup with
Miami
Miami and
matchup and-
Oh,
Minnesota.
Miami.
Yeah.
like Waddle versus Minnesota.
I don't
or,
even. I would look it up, but you're talking about Skylar Thompson right here.
Yeah.
A seventh. You can't. It doesn't matter.
I
if
mean,
they're
I'm
good.
with you. I said the
Yeah.
same thing,
Yeah.
man. I can't.
It don't matter if they're good or bad against the pass because
I can't do it, man.
We're talking about a 7th round rookie quarterback.
And I think it's obvious we're not starting Chase Edmonds. Drop his ass.
Raheem Mostert. No, don't drop Chase Edmonds.
You don't think so?
Not yet.
Don't drop him, but I said before that things started going on, I'd rather have Mostert than Chase Edmonds, and it's looking right so far.
He's still a premier handcuff for one of the most injured running backs that ever played NFL
Agreed,
football.
100%.
I guess I didn't think about that. All right, yeah, hold him.
Vikings, Kirk Cousins, he's either on or he's off. This one ain't prime time, so it'll probably be all right.
What's his over under right now?
Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
266.5 passing and rush, so pretty much passing.
Yeah, that dude's not rushing.
So, I'd probably take the over on that with these guys, maybe. It's a tough one.
I think I'm
but
taking the over.
Kirk Cousins could be in your lineup in 12-man leagues. He's got I like Kirk Cousins for the next couple weeks. He's got a bye. He's going against
Look at that.
Miami, bye, Arizona, Washington. So he's got a few 3 weeks of weak teams is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Kirk Cousins is just so.
might be a pretty good play, even in one quarterback leagues is what I'm saying. Dalvin Cook, though.
Oh, man.
I'm glad we're talking about Dalvin Cook. He's the running back 14. Fade him. I'm kind of fading Dalvin Cook. I'm just
Fade
being
him.
honest. He hasn't been getting the passing
don't
work
think
like we
so, man?
expected he would get. Kraft, explain
Alexander
yourself.
Madison's running those routes for him.
Yeah. But look, Kraft, before you go, I was saying this last time. They are working Alexander Madison in the pass game more than they do Dalvin Cook when Madison plays.
Yeah, I don't. My thing is with Dalvin Cook talking about fading him is who you putting over him?
Aaron Jones, Kamara.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones.
I might would play Kamara over
Aaron Jones.
Dalvin Cook myself.
I mean, Aaron
That's in
Jones
my
is good. Dalvin Cook did only get 57% of snaps last week, but still 18 rushes.
I'm just taking into account this man.
2 touchdowns. The touchdown opportunities is high.
Yeah.
I don't think Dalvin Cook is what we drafted.
No,
But-
he's not a first round.
A lot of the running backs in the first round were not what we drafted. So,
Agreed.
Well, shoot, if you listen to Matt Hamm on the Cruise Dynasty podcast, I was really fading all these running backs. We're getting to the end of that era right there. And we're about to bring in a new era in this 2023, is what I'm thinking. But go
I'm
ahead,
agreeing with you.
But, you know, Matt,
dynasty people.
we're dynasty nerds over here.
Austin Eckler
I think Dalvin Cook is still an RB1, but I don't think he's that high end elite RB1 that we were hoping he was going to be. I think he's kind of in that low end, really.
Chubb or
Let's
Cook?
see. I got to see this right
Kraft, Chubb or Cook?
here. Chubb or Cook?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah. That's
Easily
obvious. Chubb, yeah.
Chubb.
That's easy
that
for
was
you?
easy.
It's easily Chubb.
Chubb is the perfect sell high to me
He
right
loves
now.
Chubb.
I don't know.
Dalvin
about
Cook
that.
is the RB14 so far this year, and he had. I mean, we can always do every player and say he had a down week this week and that week,
Right.
Right, yeah.
but RB14, you drafted him as probably the RB5.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Definitely in the first round.
Terrible.
Yeah,
RB9.
yeah. He's not killing you, especially these last 2 weeks. So
But man-
I'm holding Cub in redraft for sure.
Yeah, but this is my thing, though. He's already re-injured that shoulder. He's definitely going to miss 3 to 4 games this year, so that's only going to bring down his ranking, more and only increase Alexander Madison. So
I think.
I don't
see, with him, the first 3 weeks he had 13, 7, and 12. He had a healthy shoulder.
Yeah.
He breaks that shoulder. You see what happens?
man's walking around.
About to go off now.
His arms hanging limp, and he's slapping defenders while it hangs around in the wind. 26 points last week, 2 TDs. His over-under for rushing yards is 76.5. That's high. I mean, that's high.
Who are they playing again?
They're playing Miami.
I'd probably take the over.
I'll probably take him this week because Miami ain't going to be able to do nothing.
Miami's defense is overrated.
Yeah.
Oh, I
not
agree.
good.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah, agreed. Jefferson obviously is starting. Thielen
Obviously.
obviously starting.
You're starting Jefferson.
It was
Right.
debatable.
Come on, man.
What?
It was between him and Osborne. I didn't know what to do.
Well, see, now, going back to it, people were debating whether drafting Cook or Jefferson in that first round. I think it's clearly evident that you should have taken Jefferson over him.
So far.
I was
So far.
Listen,
All right,
in
agreed.
redraft, I'm always higher on running backs, but this year I was willing to draft a wide receiver higher than usual. Hey,
It just shows up with a burp.
Man, Kraft, I didn't know you were a Dalvin Cook guy.
Hey, well, I mean, I almost in one of my leagues I just offered a trade for I got Jefferson. I tried to get Dalvin Cook and Chris Godwin for Jefferson.
So he's a buy low for
I would have done that. He didn't accept it.
He didn't accept it. He said Kenneth Walker and Godwin.
I wouldn't have done
Redraft.
that,
I can't.
yeah. I wouldn't have done
Kenneth
that.
Walker might be great. I don't know, but I can't trade a.
I got to see what we got for the full game until I start buying on Kenneth Walker. I
And
have
if he's
been
not,
good.
he might not be the passing down back. He might just be. I mean, you just got to look at him as Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You're
the
not
best way to
wrong.
look at him, really.
Irv Smith, play him if you need to. You know how we feel about the tight ends.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably just
Booty.
wouldn't want to play him
Yeah,
if I
it's
did
bad.
have to. But young tight end, I wouldn't mind having him on my team in a dynasty league. But I would try to play somebody else.
What's the over under for that game?
I don't even know, man.
never
Phil,
mind.
you got your phone with you?
I did hear
we
them
need some
say.
over and under.
I just wanted to see what they expected to be kind of close or what.
I did hear Kevin O'Connell on Pat McAfee the other day. They had an interview with him, and he said that Jefferson gets so much attention in the red zone that the red zone is kind of more opportunity for players like Adam Thielen,
Yeah.
Irv Smith. Like they're not really.
Adam
They're
Thielen's
kind of
always had
using
the
using
touchdowns.
Jefferson as a decoy in a red zone. But he's so good, it doesn't matter.
Well, shoot, Phil's looking up that over and under.
45 and a half.
45 and a half?
Talk about
Just
Minnesota,
mediocre as hell.
Miami.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an under.
I'm gonna say
Miami
under
ain't
because
scoring
Miami
3
can't
I'd say
even
under,
get.
yeah.
They don't even have a quarterback out there. So
Go ahead and take it under.
I always say the under. I'm like so pessimistic all the time. man.
I'm
I mean,
kinda
this
with
like
is-
you.
these teams ain't gonna do
Bro,
shit.
this NFL season, I got to be pessimistic just how it's looking so far.
I wonder what the percentages of unders that actually hit. I know it got to be higher than overs.
Got to be. I'm with you on that.
Probably, yeah. I'd say so too, for sure.
Well, shoot, let's just move on. This game right here is going to be Dunk's favorite game to watch of the year. We got Bengals and the Saints. So these are Dunk's
My
teams
two
right
teams
Wow.
here.
right there.
He
That's
loves
my
these
2
I
teams.
thought he was about to say Kansas City Buffalo.
He's a Saints fan. He's been on the Bengals bandwagon with Burrow and Jamar. Joe Burrow needs to step it up a little bit. You know, that's one thing I'm going to say I was right. I seen Joe Burrow at times in ADP where he was at 4.
Yeah.
Where's
That's
he at?
crazy.
But hold up now. I will say this. Give him a little bit of slack now because his offensive line has been fucking terrible
Yeah, it's
now.
been bad. It's been bad.
And I don't even get it either, man.
Well,
They
well,
got
the
the
thing
big
is,
names.
when his ADP was at 6, I would have took that.
Yeah,
I
I
would've
agree.
took that
I
for
wouldn't
sure.
have taken him at 4. I still think
Number
yeah, I
9
would've
right
taken
now.
all them.
I mean, if
Man,
you're
you still
taking-
got golf up there and stuff. I mean, it's still
Yeah.
early. You get into week 5. I mean, one really good game is going to skyrocket you up there. QB9, you're in a 12-man league. You ain't got the worst quarterback.
Yeah, true.
You ain't
I mean,
got
he's
the
been pretty.
best,
He's been
but-
pretty consistent for what I know. He's been
You
getting
didn't
around
draft him
20.
incredibly early, but
Nah, hey, some people did.
Joe Mixon.
Not me.
What are we doing with Joe Mixon? I mean, he's been he's the running back 15, kind of underachieved this year.
want him.
buy him.
Dunk's been asking my brother for Joe Mixon.
I do think he's going to play bad this week though against the Saints.
You know, he's got the Saints this week, but after that,
Yeah.
he's got Atlanta, Cleveland, Carolina, a bye, and Pittsburgh. That's 4 games that are favorable right now.
That's very good.
after you lose.
So Dunk's saying John, he's gonna if he loses this week, he'll be 1-4, 1-5, something like that. He's gonna be selling guys like Leonard Fournette and Joe Mixon. So, you know, Joe Mixon's at 90.5 rushing and receiving yards. I think this week I'm gonna say under, but I do think it's not all gloom for Joe Mixon because I do think there's a stretch of games where he could do a little bit better.
I agree. The only thing that kind of gets me off of them is they're still using Samaje Perine for whatever reason, and they just don't trust Joe Mixon in the third down play.
You know what's crazy?
Mixon is getting work this year, though. I don't think you can
No, he's getting the volume for sure. I was
Yeah.
looking it up, and I think they were talking.
set. I mean, wait a minute, carries 14 rushing attempts, but the week before 24
I
rushing.
said P. Ryan looks good. Like, don't hate on P. Ryan.
Phil said no reason to hate on P. Ryan.
P-Ryan
He's
is ass.
he's cutting into the
Yeah,
work
I was
though.
gonna say I'm not.
Perine's
I ain't gonna say his ass.
Y'all get in
I think you need to make Joe Mixon.
Y'all get in there, man. Sean.
Yeah, you do that shit, Kraft. Since you're so high and mighty.
You got. I done lost what y'all were even talking
I won't say P. Ryan's
Mikey
trash,
Pirine.
but yeah, I'm with you. Like, you ain't playing P. Ryan or anything like that. But,
Nah, I'm talking about real
Did-
football. Like, why not have him in there?
Did you say Mixon was 90 yards over and under rushing yards?
90.5 rushing and receiving.
I'm taking
On
under.
here is 64.
On sleeper
Or
or
sleeper.
I'm taking under.
You need to
I'm,
bet.
I'm taking over on that one. I'm taking under on that one.
He'll get. What are you looking at? Well, with Mixon though, he's had a lot of touchdown opportunities. Fell
Yeah.
on the 1 yard line more than anybody in the league.
you're right, 64.5
Damn.
rushing yards. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
okay.
combined rushing and receiving.
Gotcha.
Cincinnati.
Man,
Mixon's about to. He's gonna get in the end zone more.
Yeah, for sure.
Dunc, does Jamar Chase get back to what we
Sucky
want
player.
him to be? Like, is this what?
Man,
is this
I've
the
been-
week?
He's no good.
He's been double digits every week in PPR
I have been
leagues.
saying this, and he has got the volume. The man gets the targets. The man gets the work. Clearly, he's getting double coverage. Clearly, he's getting shadow coverage. This dude has the safety on him all the time. With T. Higgins being out, I'm banking it right now. This dude is due for a breakout game.
Man.
He's got to be. He's got to be. I'm begging you, Jamar. I'm begging
With
you.
that said, T. Higgins is still questionable. I'm leaning towards he's not playing. I don't think he practiced.
Even if he is
Even
playing,
if-
I'm not starting him.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which would be good for Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Tyler Boyd might be a little
a
flex.
good little plug and play.
Yeah, but with Higgins,
I think they said Marshawn
Oh.
Lattimore's out too.
with Higgins out, does that mean more coverage for Chase, or
I say more.
I feel
cover-
worse with Higgins out for Chase.
So I think it means more coverage, but I think it means more volume too. So I think in a PPR league, I think his floor is better, but his ceiling might be capped.
Look,
Yeah.
clearly last game they were trying to get Chase more involved. They started off slinging it like right to him, saying "hut," boom, dishing it to him.
Fuck you, Zach
So-
Taylor. You can't call plays well.
He's awful. I think they won the Super Bowl, and they're trying to do the same thing they did last year, and teams have adjusted.
Dude's
but
ass. Zach Taylor's horrible.
He is. I do agree with that, but like with Chase, I mean, for redraft, would you rather have Chase or Higgins? I'd rather have
Chase
Higgins.
still. I'd rather have Chase.
Man, that's tough. I'm gonna be honest. At the price, I would have rather have Higgins. Like you were drafting Higgins lower to
Yeah.
Chase.
Oh, for sure.
Chase is clearly the To me, you know,
Is he clearly the better
I
player?
don't know, man. I can't. It's just tough, man. I can't
You can't
sit
say
here.
you tried.
I can't sit here and say it because I've
Well,
seen
hold up.
Higgins for years.
But this is my thing. Keep it up now. This man gets all the attention, though. Jamar Chase does. And then T. Higgins is over there going one-on-one with the second cornerback, basically.
But see, to me, that's fantasy. It's
That's
like,
fancy.
he's-
Yeah, that's what you want.
He's getting the looks. He's getting the. It's just a tough.
It's the Tyler Lockett,
situation.
DK Metcalf situation.
Exactly.
Tyler Lockett was always undervalued, and he still scored as much or more than
Hey,
Metcalf.
I'm with you. I think T. Higgins is super good. Top 8 for
But don't
me.
start him this week. I don't. I
No,
feel
no,
like
hell no. Don't
Dunc,
do
is
that.
it confirmed that Lattimore is out?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but that's what I saw. Let me look it up. Let me look up the recent news.
Dunk's
of
going to look
Lattimore.
up and see if Lattimore's out. If Lattimore's out, I feel like it kind of changes things up a little
Yeah.
bit.
I'll go back to like the Justin Jefferson when we did, because I remember when we did the Minnesota New Orleans game, and I said
They're
Jefferson's
out.
on.
He's out.
So Lattimore is out.
He's out.
I was thinking if Lattimore was in, maybe they would go one-on-one with Chase, and he'd just kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause with these elite receivers, I would rather a good cornerback be on him rather than getting
Double
shadowed.
team.
Yeah.
And the safety.
Like he would.
Does it
Justin
get-
Jefferson lit up Lattimore.
Does
He
it
just
get
owns
more
Mike
than
Evans.
82 receiving yards?
I know, yeah.
What is it?
Does Chase get more than 81 receiving yards?
I say yes.
I say no.
I just think the volume's
It's
going to be
split.
there.
We're a little split. I'm going to say.
I mean, clearly I'm a Chase guy, though, man. He's my boy.
Dunk's a Chase guy. I'm gonna go with the over this week.
I
But
think Chase is.
It's
Great.
2-1, baby. Deciding vote.
you know, Kamara, Andy Dalton's in the lineup again this week. It looks like Kamara kind of bounced back last week. Let's see. Let me look real quick. 22 points. I still, you know, Kamara was a perfect buy low candidate earlier in the year. Probably about to see it pay off a little bit. His over and under is 103.5 with rushing and receiving yards. Crawford, would you hit the over on that one this week?
Phil.
Phil?
You
Yeah,
leaning
Phil.
up. You leaning up towards the
Yeah.
mic.
Can you, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I'll go over.
P, 103.5 rushing and receiving yards for Kamara this week.
103. Golly.
Tough.
Yeah, do it.
Do
Go over.
Phil says over. I'm gonna say over this week.
I say over.
I mean, they had a high-scoring game with the Seahawks, so I feel like they're going to have another high-scoring game with the Bengals. Wouldn't you think? I mean, the Saints.
I don't look at the Bengals the same anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what the over/under is on this one, but y'all know what I'm about to say already.
But how do you view the
I
Saints?
ain't gonna say it.
How do you view the Saints, though? I mean, they just rolling Taysom Hill out there. They just need to keep doing that.
That's one we do need to talk about, Taysom Hill.
All right, well, moving on. But okay, real quick, Chris Olave is in concussion protocol. I'm gonna say he's not playing.
He's playing.
You think?
I
He's
think
playing?
he's playing.
Okay.
Michael Thomas is out, I know. I don't know if y'all
They
that.
said Olave is past all the concussion stuff. It's a different NFL now, but
Yeah.
it sounds like he's past all the tests. I think he's playing.
Okay, trending towards playing. All right, Taysom Hill. I know y'all want to talk about him. Last week, just destroyed. I mean, just I don't know, 33 points.
Fuck you, Taysom
The dude had 9 rushing
picked him up.
attempts.
Why do we hate on him so much?
I know. I mean,
love him.
I own Kamara, so I don't like him
I
stealing
wish
them
Tebow
goals.
was in there running the thing.
Kamara needs
Yeah.
to, get in the end zone.
so Taysom Hill's an
I
obvious
agree.
start.
at tight end,
At tight end,
Yeah.
for sure.
upside is humongous.
Upside is humongous, but he could goose egg your ass.
I wouldn't say goose egg, but he don't catch nothing, so he get 3 carries for 5 yards. He could get 5 points for you. But he's gonna get some rushing opportunity, so he will.
0.5, so
His floor is floor is 0.5. His ceiling is 39. So y'all figure out what y'all
he's
want to
getting
do.
in there in the red zone, so if they get down there, you know they're gonna throw him in as long as their QB situation is what it is. So he's getting there.
Kamara's just a little sissy man.
He's the
You want Taysom Hill in there, man. You want Taysom Hill on the goal line. If Kamara was there, they'd just grab his dreadlocks and throw him 5 yards back in the backfield.
Hey, I will
man.
say this: I wouldn't want to tackle Taysom Hill's big ass. I would not want to fucking hit
He
him.
might throw it too. You never
yeah,
know.
same.
He might just, He might go out there and bowl a strike. Might hit a home run. Taysom Hill does it all.
rushing yard.
Well, shoot. Let's just move on to doing it. Let's just move on to Baltimore, headed to New York Giants.
Is Michael Thomas out?
Michael
he's
Thomas is
out.
out.
He's out.
Out. So Baltimore, New York
Bust.
Giants, 1
What about
o'clock.
Winston? Is he out?
I seen that Dalton's playing. That's how I see it. I think Winston is questionable, but I see that Dalton looks like he's going to play.
Better for Kamara then, from my opinion.
Well,
Winston
with
never
Dalton
started.
comes more Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
We'll go ahead and move on from.
True, I do agree with what you just said, Kraft. Baltimore, New York Giants. I'm not sold on the 4-1 Giants at all.
No, hell no. That's David Thomas right
They
there.
beat the Packers, so I'm sold, man. They're great. They're great. The Packers lost to a great NFL team.
Lamar, obvious, top 2 quarterback, top 2 or 3. Dobbins, you're obviously starting him. Shoot, I want to say Gus Edwards was close to return. So Gus Edwards is close to return will help boost our running back room. What are we doing with this wide receiving room? Because it looks like Bateman's going to be out is what it looks like. Brother, Rashad Bateman, is he out? Yeah. Rashad Bateman's out. So Duvernay.
Flex play.
Obvious flex play, Kraft?
I think
Yeah,
so.
he's a flex play. My thing about Bateman, just real quick, where y'all look at him in Dynasty?
I think he's a top 30.
I like Duvernay.
Maybe even
over
top
him.
25.
In Dynasty?
He says Duvernay
I'm
over
not saying
Bateman.
that now. I'm not saying that.
Look, I won't say what Phil said, but Phil's saying it. And if Phil believes it, he's rolling with it.
You got Lamar Jackson on your phone?
Yep.
Dang.
Look up Lamar Jackson's games without Bateman.
How many games did
2
Bateman play
games,
last week?
2 games.
He has been receded. He's 15 and 15. Before that, he was dropping 40 every week. Then when Bateman's been out, he's dropped 15
Bateman
and 15.
definitely commands coverage.
Is that a coinky dink or is that just?
I think Bateman's good, and I think he's underrated. But I would go buy Bateman personally.
Bateman or, well, yeah, that's easy. There was a trade for Bateman, Marquise Brown. It's Marquise Brown, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
I've been dead on with that one.
Pittman.
Bateman or Pittman?
That's still Pittman.
Pittman.
I mean, Bateman's hurt.
Is it, Phil? Is it Bateman or Pittman?
In Dynasty?
I still take Pittman.
Okay, Dynasty is Pittman. Okay.
And redraft is still
and
Pittman.
redraft is
I mean,
Pittman.
Bateman's hurt. Pittman
True,
sucks,
true,
but
true.
Bateman's
Bateman's
hurt.
in that IU category for me, man. I'm not even going to lie to you.
He kind of turned into a deep threat, and I didn't really look at him like that. I thought he was going to be a target hog.
I thought he was too. Yeah, same. But
Look, I would hold on to Bateman, but I would want to try to make him my 3rd or 4th best receiver.
4th. Easily.
Yeah, I would love to have him though. But he's he's the number 1 wide receiver in that offense, most behind Andrews.
You know what? I actually
You
got a
starting
better
Dobbins?
comparison.
But yeah, but better comparison. What you
Elijah Moore, probably.
got? I got
Ooh,
Bateman
man.
way ahead of Moore at this point.
Damn.
That one really ain't debatable to me. What about you? You like Elijah Moore? Is that close? It's closer than what I said.
I'm gonna take Bateman. It's Baltimore versus the Jets, man.
Okay, well, shoot.
Lamar just hits him. He's gonna hit it. He's gonna connect on a deep pass every game.
Well, look,
Yeah.
real quick, Dobbins is a clear, obvious start with the bye weeks and the injuries out there.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect much, though.
Wouldn't
He's been
expect
back
too
and
much.
forth. It's kind of a touchdown thing with him right now.
I kind of think,
And Gus Bus is coming back.
yeah, that's true. Gus is on the way back.
He's not going to be back this week.
Me and you've been dead on about what we've been doing with Dobbins, so
He
I
scored
think
4 points last week.
to me it's
Damn. Yeah, I didn't know that.
to me it's like honestly I don't know. I ain't gonna sit here and act like he's elite or anything like that, but I would definitely play him over a lot of guys.
he could be elite.
Could be
If he gets,
I don't think
if
he
he
will
gets
be,
an
but-
if he gets an average of 15 to 20 carries a game, and goal line work,
I just
J.K.
don't think
Dobbins
that's
is
happening
elite.
with Lamar in there.
When Gus Bus comes back, I don't.
Yeah, true. He's
I
gonna
don't
be
really
in
think
that,
Gus
too.
gonna drop into it that much.
I think it's going to be
I
about
think
50-50.
it's clear that
But they're
Dobbins,
gonna
they wanted
ease
to
him
be the
back.
workhorse.
They're going to ease Edwards back just like they did Dobbins.
True.
But I'd say by like week 10, ease Edwards back in and he looks good, then it's probably 50-50.
Shoot, I've been saying you should slow play Dobbins. He's more of a back half of the year play. So I stay on that still. Even though he underperformed last week, I still stay true to that.
Would you rather have Dobbins or Kenneth Walker?
Kenneth Walker. I'd rather
Yeah,
have Kenneth
sure.
Walker. There ain't no
For
doubt about
sure.
that. Mark Andrews, you're obviously starting.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Jones, a super flex play. Saquon, you're obviously starting. 105 rushing and receiving yards, over and under. 105 for Saquon Barkley.
Saying under.
You gonna Dunc saying under? What you saying,
Who
Crab?
they got again?
Baltimore.
Going against Baltimore.
Hey,
I'm going to go over that.
I'm gonna go-
Saquon's just been ridiculous.
I'm gonna go over because all their wide receivers are hurt. Every
They got-
one of them
they got
except for
Darius
Slayton
Slayton.
now.
And then, I mean, they've been able. Brian Daboll is a good coach. I kind of look at the Giants the way the Titans played last year. They're 4-1. The Titans had absolutely nobody,
Yeah.
but they just kept on winning.
Terrible quarterback.
They lost Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown.
Still won.
Still won.
I
Like
want-
they're just playing good defense. They're commanding the clock. That's the way they killed the Packers last year. They held the ball for 10 minutes on one drive. You know,
Yeah.
they're
So-
not bad.
So we can agree, Barkley's pretty much the only play for the Giants. Pretty
I
much.
would grab.
Unless you're
If you're in a pinch, throw in Slayton, maybe.
Yeah, and
I
get
had to
get
throw
Wandale off free agency.
Yeah.
I had to throw in Slayton in one of my
And I want to say
dynasty
something
leagues.
about Kadarius Toney to everybody out there, because I got
He's a
Kadarius Toney.
baby.
If he plays one good game, you ship him off for whatever you can, because this dude won't play the next week because he's going to be hurt. I've never in my life seen a player have more injuries than this dude right here. Never.
In the first 2 years of his existence,
I'll put it like this, Kraft. I pretty much don't care. I won't trade anything. If you're gonna offer me a 3rd round pick, I'll just keep my guy. You offer me a 3rd round pick for Kadarius Toney, I'm accepting that in a heartbeat. There ain't no doubt about it. I'm taking it.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
I wait for him to play like you said. One good game, try to get a 2.
Try your best. To
Try
get
your
it
best,
to
get a 2, and then move on. But like I said, Wandale, if he's on free agency and you got like a person that you want to drop, just go ahead and pick him up. See how he does. I think you got any news on Wandale this week?
I heard he's getting better and he may come back this week, but I wouldn't count on it. That's all I've heard. But it could have changed since the last time I seen.
Man, talking about all these games, I'm just now realizing how injured these players
Yeah.
are. Good God.
They're all
And honestly, this year's been a little healthier than last year. Last year, and then dealing with COVID last year was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
think
yeah.
about that.
So now let's just move on. Tampa Bay headed to Pittsburgh. Tom, I'm gonna be honest. I think he goes off this week. His mind has clearly not been right all season.
Giselle.
Yeah, dealing with some female troubles. And before we move on, Giselle,
Jordan
you're
Harris.
selfish. You're being selfish, Giselle. Okay. But Tom, look for Tom Brady to go off. Fournette, look for Fournette to go off. To me, redraft, Fournette is as solid as a play as you can have. Dynasty-wise, if I'm not competing, I'm selling.
Fournette.
In fact, I got an offer for you right here. John don't want to give up competing yet, and I don't blame him. Because if we're in a 10-team league, top 6 gets into the playoffs. So I would still try to go.
Yeah.
John's 1-4 right now. But look, also has had bad luck. Then he got an offer from a dude who is clearly overachieving. Melvin Gordon and 2 firsts for Leonard Fournette in a second. That's tough, ain't it?
He retracted.
Where's
that
the
trade,
first?
He
Where are
retracted
the-
the trade, but I
where
think
are
he
the
would send
firsts?
it again. Say what?
Where do y'all think the first is going to be, John?
I think
Probably
they'll be
mid.
mid. I think they'll mid to early, honestly. I ain't buying that. I hope Jordan listens. I ain't buying you being in the top 4, clown.
Keep competing.
Yeah,
Keep
so I actually
competing,
had a
John.
talk with him, and I kind of talked him out of doing that because he showed me that trade, and I was like, "What in the fuck are you doing?"
Well, look, my thing is if you're,
Keep competing.
yeah, I'm with brother. If you lose this week, I'd sell. If you win this week, you're pretty much in the mix in our
He
league.
might still be in the mix if he loses this week.
Could
I mean,
be.
1-5 is bad, but
Yeah.
I mean, I have to look at your roster. But
Oh, he's got Diggs too.
I mean, in a 10-team league and 6 people make it in, you
There's
can
some
get you
stacked
can
teams,
you can get in with 6
There are
and
some stacked teams.
6 and 8, right? You can get in 6 and 8.
Potentially.
I don't know.
Wait,
It's
hold
tough.
up. We were in a
Stacked
3-way
teams,
tie, 7-7, right?
Yeah, like 7 and I want to say it was 7-6, but it was probably 7-7. We was in. Hold on, Dunc. I look back.
Or
It
it's a
was way
4-way
more than
tie.
3. It was a 5-way tie. I was at the bottom of that thing. I
my
finished
God.
7th. There was like 2 or 3 people in there. I mean, it was crazy. Would you would hold off on that trade for now? 2 first rounds for at least a week. If he loses this week and he offers it, I'm accepting it.
Yeah, some people offer trades like myself and forget they're even there. So, like, I would wait. Shoot, I might stay it out for 2 weeks. If that trade's still sitting in your box, man.
Nah,
He
it's
took it
out.
back.
It's out.
Oh, he withdrew it. I'm telling you, I'll be sending trades, and like 4 weeks later, I'm like, oh, that thing's still in there. I'm glad he didn't accept that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was. But anyways, Rashad White, even if you're in redraft, I'd kind of stash him on my roster because I kind of like the talent of Rashad White.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
I think
taking
it
the
looks
same.
good.
Good handcuff.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I'll just ask this: who has the bigger week? Because this week I'm thinking it's Godwin.
I say Godwin.
I'm always gonna go Evans every time you ask me that.
Phil, Godwin or Evans this week?
Man, I'll go Evans because he might get a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
red zone threat.
Yeah. You know,
The
like
fade.
Mike Evans is the big
The
play
fade.
guy. Godwin is the PPR guy. So
They gonna go to that playbook.
What do you say, John?
They gonna see fade on there.
The fade.
John says Mike Evans.
That's
Pi-
3-2. 3-2. We win.
Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett. I'm not the lowest on Kenny Pickett. Obviously, I'm not just like soaring high on Kenny Pickett, but a super flex play, obviously. Najee.
Really?
I think he's a clear super flex play. Top 24 quarterback.
Just
You're
with
telling
who
me
you
he can't
got.
finish in the top 24?
Hey, I'm putting him over Matt Ryan.
Where is he now? What has he done?
He obviously he didn't play the first 3 games of the
Well,
year.
I'm saying last week.
Terrible.
Last week they lost 65-1, and how many points did he have? He had to throw
played
all
Buffalo.
game. I know he had to throw all game. That game script was awful.
Well, look.
He's gonna be going
I'm-
all
I'm-
game this game.
I'm starting Matt Ryan over Kenny Pickett.
Oh man.
Oh,
Daddy Ryan, baby. It's not
get him
over.
out of here.
Listen, Kraft's on the island with that one, except for Phil. Phil, what do you feel about that, Matt
I'm
Ryan?
going Kenny Pickett.
Okay,
I just dropped Ryan.
just drop.
Y'all dynasty folks, man. They ain't always
over
good.
here, man.
What did Kenny Pickett have last week, though?
Hasn't done higher than 14, but did play Buffalo last week. But I ain't sitting here saying I'm even high on the offense. I ain't even high on it. If I'm just being honest, from a dynasty perspective, really the only player I want is Pickens. Because when Kenny Pickett's come in, Pickett's been getting peppered with targets.
You don't want none.
I'm a
Give
fade.
him time,
Listen,
man.
I'm a fade
Give
on
the
Najee.
man time.
Phil, hop on the mic and tell us about Najee, your boy.
Just give him some time. Let them build that O-line. That's all
They
the
really
rhymes
do
that I
gotta
got.
build that O-line for
See
this
y'all
guy.
So
on the line.
So Phil, real quick, would you sell Najee? Or hold on,
You can't
Najee's
sell
a
him
hold.
now.
Najee's a
Fuck.
hold for you.
Yeah, I'd hold him. I ain't
Well,
gonna
fuck, you
trade
can't
him.
sell
Just
him
put him
now,
on your
bro.
bench, man. Just sit him on your bench.
Hey, if he's
In
a buy
redraft,
low,
you set him on your bench. Your number 1 first-round draft pick who's healthy.
Hey, what about this? This is
said
what
him
I
on
got
the
going
bench
on this week.
I mean, you do have to. I agree, but it's hard to do to sit a first-round
what?
pick on the bench
You know, put
For
him
no
in
reason.
there. Go ahead and put him in.
against
Nah.
Tampa.
Go ahead and put
Hey,
him in.
look, this-
He's gonna get. I think he'll get more targets with old Pickett.
What's
this
his over
week.
and under rushing yards this week against Tampa? I'm ready
It's like
to
I
hear
think
this.
it's
7.
close to
It's like
Alright.
15.
Yeah, I think it's close to 30 or so.
46 and a half.
You can't.
Rushing.
You can't. If you have another option, I mean, Cam Akers is out.
I'm taking the under this
I'm putting
week.
Darrell Henderson over.
I was about to say that's what I got going on.
Eno over Najee.
Okay, yeah, Dunk's in the situation. Darrell Henderson or
Tampa
Najee.
Bay's rush defense is overrated.
Well,
Look
Hey,
what
can't-
Clyde Edwards-Helaire just did to him
Okay.
last week, bro.
Hey, I was about to say
He did. Clyde
He did eat him up.
Look at Kenny Pickett. He's going to
Yeah.
roll out there, throw it deep a few times, and then Najee's going to get some carries.
But is Kenny Pickett as
But
big
he-
of a threat as Patty Mahomes?
Yes.
so yeah, we're pretty much on the same page except for Phil. Phil's high on Najee, hold Najee. It says Phil. We're all saying
I mean, you
you
gotta
have to
hold
hold.
him. You have to hold him.
And honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to buying low on Najee. Would
In
you?
Dynasty for sure. Oh yeah.
What
Hell
about
yeah.
a redraft? You wouldn't be opposed to buying low? You never know.
Redraft.
He's
I think
that much of a
Najee
fade?
is dead in redraft.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
think you're getting.
Depends what his
his
strength of
ceiling is
schedule.
like 15 points.
Deontay
bad.
Johnson, I'm gonna be honest.
get 20.
Hey, he was one of
Fade
my
him.
busts. He was one
Deontay
of my
Johnson had
busts.
13 targets last week, though, only 5 receptions. So that's a little Kenny Pickett problem right there.
Bust.
I think you got to look at how many of those were catchable though.
It's
'cause even though
Pickens
he got
time.
targets.
It's
Yeah.
Pickens time.
It is
Pickens
Pickens
time.
time.
It's Pickens
Pickens
time.
is looking good.
It's not, hey, I'll be talking about it if y'all don't even know what that is. Go turn on Mighty Ducks 2. Because it is knuckle puck time. But shoot, I look for Tampa Bay. In that game, look for Tampa Bay to really open it up. Arizona going to Seattle. Listen, I got Arizona players, but you know how we feel about Arizona. I can't stand watching these guys play, man. Just so they don't even practice in the week. That's how I feel.
Dude, they don't even show up in the first half.
Yeah, if Arizona came to play Griffin High, I wouldn't go to that game. Just because I don't even want to see Arizona play, even though it only take me 2 minutes to get to the game. But this game is sneaky good, though, for fantasy. Both terrible defenses.
Yeah, true. Might be a shootout. Might
Yeah.
be just a shootout, especially if keeps up how he's been doing. So wait, so what do we expect from Marquise Brown? You expect the top 10 performance in wide receiver wise?
Top 10 is tough. I mean, I would say he's wide receiver 6 right now.
Yeah, he's up there, man. Especially in PPR leagues for sure. He's getting all the volume in that offense.
I give him another week. Yeah,
Well,
another week in the top 10 for Marquise Brown, and
Right.
I mean, you're starting him. He's been great. He's been great. So
And that's my thing too. I'm just thinking he's going to do an even better this week, especially with James Conner being out. Well, I guess Benjamin's more of a receiving back, but still, I just don't think they're going to get much work on the ground.
I think they're going to get a lot of work on the ground. Their offensive line ain't great, but Seattle is the worst rushing defense in the league. They are allowing 170 rushing yards per game.
Oh shit! Well, never mind. Maybe I retract that statement.
I think I'm saying that correctly.
But that's kind of blown up by that Lions
your boy
game,
Eno
isn't
Benjamin this week. If you got him, play him this week.
Yeah, for sure. Darrell Williams is out too. So James Conner and Darrell Williams is out. They got Eno and what's that rookie's name?
Keontae Ingram.
There you go, Phil.
Look for him.
Yeah, maybe
if you got him. If you got to.
Damn, Benjamin might be a real good play this week. Then, damn, I didn't even think about that.
I like all the weapons in this game.
Put him in
You like
your
Ertz?
lineups.
I like
on
Ertz,
your DFSs. Win the big bucks.
I'd
Save the big bucks.
save the big buck. You putting him in? Putting in Eno for sure. I think he's going to be owned in about 95%.
Man, I should have kept his ass. I dropped his ass in a dynasty
He's pretty
league.
cheap, I'm sure.
Shoot, I got Eno. I'm playing him this week.
Find him anywhere.
You're struggling RB though for right now.
For right now, got some bye weeks, got some injuries. That's what I'm saying. People complaining about injuries. I'm like, look at what I got to go through, but I ain't saying nothing. And but anyways, this is my game plan. I know David ain't gonna listen to this. I'm playing Eno Benjamin this week, and I think he's gonna do good. I'm gonna try to ship him to David real quick because he's got James Conner. I think David will go for it. You don't think he'll go for it? He don't care about draft picks.
Like I said, David's IQ is pretty low when it comes to fantasy football, so I think you can pull one over almost anything with him.
My brother over there, I know the mic ain't on you. You think David would go for a... We're all in agreement. David might go for Eno Benjamin in a trade.
It is funny when Zamil hits me up talking about how I swindle David and stuff, and he just is baffled at the fact that I can even get a trade done with him.
Well, on the Seattle side of the ball, we did say Lockett. Is there any other news? He had the hamstring thing come up Thursday, and that's never a good sign.
So DK is going to be a big player in this game.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's every week starter anyway.
Yeah.
In Dynasty, he done rose so far up. Would you take? I mean, who do y'all like? DK? I mean, this is gonna might be crazy, but if you get to really thinking about it, do you want DK or do you want CD?
To me, that's not even debatable.
Yeah,
I'm taking CD, and I ain't
I
even
like CD
coughing
way
at it.
better in Dynasty.
But hold on, you say DK's went up. I'm saying DK's dropped so much after this year. He still ain't performing to what we need him to be.
Why he's out?
This dude was probably top.
I gotta look
8.
up DK versus
He's closer
CD.
to Pittman than anything else for me.
Wouldn't you say DK was probably top 10 dynasty when he was with Russ, and
Probably.
then now he's
Shit,
clearly
he's
not
probably
that
top
to
5
me.
when he was with Russ.
He's wide receiver 20
Yeah.
this year. CD is
He was 12 before last week,
17,
so that's
What
all.
was
I know.
DK?
20.
So they are close. But CD just doesn't have Dak though.
Yeah.
And Cooper Rush, I mean, this
Yeah.
man's throwing for 100 passing yards and winning games.
And Geno Smith's overachieving.
But like I
Yeah.
said with DK, this is probably the worst quarterback he's gonna have,
Maybe.
I don't know about
and it's
that.
not
Maybe.
bad.
I don't know if this is the worst quarterback he's gonna have.
But they bring in a rookie next year. It's going to be a competition with Geno. If Geno wins, then it's Geno. If he loses, it might be better. It might be the same, but it's not looking so bad. It's not looking as bad.
It's not as bad as what I thought, but it's not as high
I will
as
say
what it
that,
was
yeah.
2 or 3 years ago.
Hey,
This dude ain't nowhere.
if you drafted, because what was DK going in redraft? Probably like 6th round, 7th round, maybe? Something like that.
Probably,
yeah. It was like
if you-
5th round or
yeah,
so.
If you got him
Great
where that,
pick.
if you got him there, yeah, you did
I'm with
great.
you. That was a
Yeah.
great pick. I know. Shoot, I had to step off the pee a little bit, but I know Kyler Murray, obviously a play.
Oh, we
Geno
were talking
Smith
about that one.
he's obviously a super flex play. Marquise Brown, I've been dead on, man, dead on. I want to toot my horn about that one because he's been the most right I've been about. DJ Moore been the most wrong I've been about. This is one this is one that I like to toot my horn about. I got a question for y'all. D Hop's coming back soon. From that little suspension. Who does it affect more, Marquise Brown or Zach Ertz?
Both.
Both. I think
You can't
it
say
affects
gets better.
Ertz.
I heard you say last time that it gets better for Brown when he comes back. He's wide receiver 6. It can't get no better.
I think, but the thing is D Hop's going to open it up a little bit. They're
the
using
deep
Marquise
pass.
Brown in the short game right now. This dude's not even a short game guy.
He might become a boomer bust guy though if he's just running
true.
deep routes.
True. But I think they'll feature him in the short game and then throw it deep to him more often now.
Cardinals still suck.
They suck.
They do suck.
With I don't think
Hey,
Hopkins
watch
coming
him.
back is going to save them.
I don't either.
I just
What's the
think,
record now?
Well, see, I don't know, man.
We just know they suck.
I ain't gonna say Hopkins is gonna save him, but I would love to have Hopkins on my team right now.
Would you?
I wouldn't mind having Hopkins on my squad right now. This dude was the best receiver for years.
Could you
So,
sell Hopkins in Dynasty knowing he's come back to a contender and maybe get somebody?
like?
Let's ask the guy who got him.
I mean, I don't know who you could get. What would you get for like a half-year rental? And, Hopkins is about 30 years old.
Well, I'll put it like this:
For a contender, though, you can sell Hopkins and get
if I'm in super win now
Lazard.
mode, wouldn't mind buying Hopkins.
That's hard.
Man,
I
come
mean,
on,
that-
man! Don't disrespect Hot like that.
You wouldn't if you
Hell no.
If you had Hopkins,
Lazard.
if you had Hopkins and you weren't contending in Dynasty, you wouldn't trade Hopkins for Lazard.
I
No.
don't think I would.
Oh, I would easily.
No, I would try my
You're
best
a
to get some
Packers
draft
guy,
capital.
though.
What do you want?
You're a Packers guy.
Hold up, Krav. I'll try my best to get some draft capital before Lazard.
I would definitely try to get a first for sure.
No
for DeAndre
way.
Hopkins.
Nobody's
try to
giving
get a
you a
second.
first.
You don't
for
think
the
so?
I don't think
Hopkins.
anybody's giving you a first. Well,
I'm
I'm
saying
gonna
when he
be
gets
honest.
back,
Somebody
though.
would. Somebody might would.
Maybe if he comes back one game and plays outstanding, you can get a first.
That's what I'm saying.
But right now,
Oh, well, yeah, not right now. He hasn't played.
Well, heck, I don't even know if D Hop's
he
really
ain't,
too
wor- he
much
ain't
of
wor-
a
he ain't
fade.
worth a fourth.
Hold on, D Hop is. I'll put it like this though. D Hop's not like a fade, like a Michael Thomas fade.
No. Hell no.
I kind of got a little more faith in D Hop than y'all do.
I'm high.
Heck, I know
D-Hop.
my brother back here has got D Hop a little higher. Needs
Yeah.
him to come save his
He
ass.
needs to sell him.
Hey, second rounder for D-Hop.
I'd take a second for D-Hop.
I might eventually would take a second rounder for D Hop, but you got to be
Hey,
not
Lazard.
contending.
Second and Lazard for D-Hop.
Well, the thing is, John back here, it's like how I feel. Even if you can get that last playoff spot, I'm buying. I'm just being honest. So if I was him, I would hold on to D Hop for a little while. But if you're not contending, I'm getting what I can get for D Hop right now. He's a clear sell dynasty.
Wait,
wise.
hold up. I wouldn't sell him right now, though.
No.
I mean,
Well,
he is on
depends,
roids,
really.
though. He's probably going to come back.
That's what I was about to
jacked.
say. The dude was, juicing up and shit.
Well,
so
I'm
it's
saying,
like-
like, don't sell him before he comes back from his injury, though. Like, wait a couple games.
But that's
I
the
think he's
thing. You
gonna boom.
could get more. Well, it just depends on what D Hop does. That's all it is.
I had a question for you. Where do receivers shoot their steroids up, man? Because they're not even like defensive linemen. He's shooting them up in his hands. Like, I need my hands to get bigger to snatch these things. Like,
Right.
as a receiver, how much are steroids helping you as a receiver?
I think he was hurt and it just helped him recover.
I think he was
Yeah, I
pretty
do
much
agree
like
with
that type. So to me, like this suspension was probably the best thing for D Hop, for him. I don't know if he can make it through a full year.
I agree.
Yeah.
D-Hop has been kind of injury prone these
But if
last
you
couple
He
give
years.
him
had a whole year off.
You give him 11 games, he might could make it 11 games.
I could say halfway through the year, but he had a whole year off. He'd come in the year healthy. He'd probably be hurt right now.
D Hop is a wait and see. We just gonna have to wait and see what that's about.
He's gonna be
about to
booty.
about. But yeah, that's a
Potentially, yeah.
He could be booty.
Kenneth Walker. We like Kenneth. We pretty much went through it all. So let's just move on, man. But yeah, sneaky good game though. I wouldn't mind watching that one.
This is definitely one of our longer episodes talking about these games, but we are giving.
We're at an hour and a half. We're probably about to break 2 hours because we're breaking it all.
We've only covered 2 games.
The thing is, though, we've had episodes like hour 41.
Oh yeah,
And-
we're fine.
and
People,
but I'll say this:
are
people
listening,
for
I
some
think.
reason like our longer episodes. So it's
I mean, I like the longer episodes, especially
Yeah.
for longer commutes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just helps out, man.
So I'm with you.
Man, we're-
I would,
we're doing
I
this
would
and
listen
D
to
ain't
us.
even here yet, man.
Shoot.
I would definitely listen to us.
What you call it? Carolina playing Los Angeles. This is a week where Los Angeles is going to get it together a little bit.
I hope so. God, dang.
Man, I don't know.
Carolina has PJ Walker, is that his name?
P.J.
PJ
Walker.
Walker gonna be starting. He might. I listen, man.
The Rams defense this week.
Yeah, start the Rams defense
I got
for
that
sure.
starting.
You know what? Maybe we should. in our podcast, maybe a little ad, like maybe you should start this defense. We might start slinging that in their comments.
Yeah.
But
defenses win you games.
They
I played
do.
against New England last week. They got 22 points, and I was done. I had
Yeah.
the Packers against the Giants with 3 points. I got the Packers against the Jets this week.
a 19
points.
point, yeah.
I got the Packers against the Jets too. I
Don't-
hope they don't blow it up.
They're playing at home. I mean, I just hope they do something.
So check this out. Christian McCaffrey going against the Rams, who've been it's not the best matchup in the world, especially when your quarterback's out. But I expect McCaffrey to get a lot of volume this week. So
Yeah. I don't want it.
Hey.
I mean,
it's
not
tough.
in DFS. I mean, he's in your lineups,
Oh.
but I wouldn't be throwing him in no DFS. He's probably too expensive, and the matchup is not good.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
Backup quarterback.
couldn't
but
agree more.
But this is the thing with Carolina. I feel like they're going to try to showcase these players. That way they can ship their asses out because I think they know they got to blow it up at this
You
point.
can't showcase your players when you're that terrible.
Hey, CMC's been in a lot of trade
Oh,
rumors because the Panthers claim they're not trading him, but I've seen the Bills have been in talks. Now I've seen the Eagles have been looking into him.
No, Miles Sanders.
I ain't a Miles Sanders guy.
I'm
So
not
if
a
you
Miles
can get some
Sanders guy
CMC, you can get some CMC.
I mean,
they
be
will
great.
be.
CMC won't look right in the Eagles uniform.
would be
That looks
weird.
kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
That
yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
Send him to. Honestly, he
I
needs
don't
to
think
go
he's
back.
going anywhere this year.
CMC underrated. Oh,
This is his last year's contract. He can just move on after this year and just.
But they're going to try to get something for him, I think.
hey man, shout out to Noah out there, white boy, Christian McCaffrey. So CMC, DJ Moore. Obviously, I'm starting him this week, but I'm gonna recommend you not start him this week. If you have to start him, he might be better than others, but I would look for any alternatives over DJ Moore at this point.
Man, he's
Yeah.
getting Jalen too. Yeah, I'm not feeling
Man.
good about that.
We need to talk about DJ Moore in Dynasty.
Let's talk about him right now.
Buy
DJ Moore
low.
in Dynasty.
I say buy low at least.
Dunc says buy low. I don't know, man.
hold?
I would buy low, but it's got to be low.
Is it a hold?
I'm holding.
I would hold if I have him on my
I would
team.
hold if I had him, yeah, for sure.
You can't sell him.
You're not
Can't
about to
sell-
sell him
you
for some
cannot
third
sell him.
rounders.
Would
or
you sell him
something.
for Elijah Moore?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
easily.
yeah.
I'd want Elijah Moore in that case, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Would you sell him
Phil
for
says
any other
no.
rookie? Would you sell him for Christian Watson?
No.
I'm gonna be honest. I would.
Maybe Dubs. Maybe.
I don't think you get that. Christian Watson, maybe.
You don't think you could get dubs for DJ?
Nah.
I'm gonna be honest. I might would take Washington.
Have you
over
seen DJ
Moore?
Moore's stats
I'm
this
just
year?
gonna be
Yeah.
honest. They're not. The Panthers are not about to get a quarterback in here to save their ass ever. They're gonna be even if they go get Bryce Young.
season,
Yeah.
man.
All right. Listen, I'm a Bryce Young guy. I pray to God he doesn't go to Carolina.
I mean, we
Phil,
talked
I know you
about.
with me on that.
Come to the Falcons, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I do want him on the Falcons so
Yes.
We talked about this in another episode, and like the chances
Picking up
are
a tight end.
that they don't get a savior for their quarterback. I mean, look at the Browns. When was the last time they had a good quarterback? It's been
With
30
Baker,
years.
Nah, man. Baker.
Don't say
played
Baker.
with-
Don't say
Baker's
Baker.
confidence is just shot now. Baker was good, whatever, until
He
he had
was.
the shoulder injury.
I don't think he was good. I think Jacoby Brissett looks better than Baker with the Browns. I think it's the Browns' offensive line and their run game that made Baker look good. Jacoby Brissett looks a lot better than Baker.
That's
His
true.
RPOs.
Yeah. You know what? I can
He
buy
might
that.
not have ever been good.
Yeah,
I don't know,
you're not
man.
wrong.
I ain't buying
Get
that.
Deshaun in there, they're gonna be contending.
He better than Justin Fields, though. Maybe. Well,
Baker?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I would
don't
take
know about
Justin
that.
Fields, but still, it's like he's in that. It's like I said. I looked it up last night. This dude Justin Fields has the same amount of fantasy points as Baker and Matt Ryan, and he's a mobile quarterback, so he's bad this year.
He's very bad. The
hey,
Bears are just very bad.
Yeah, the Bears are just
They're rebuilding, obviously. They didn't give Justin Fields no help
At all.
at all.
Is there any more player? I mean, pretty much CMC is the only player you would play on the Panthers.
Tommy Tremble?
Hell, I mean,
Only him.
Tight end, why not? Man?
Rams.
Tommy Tremble or Kyle
Maybe they're
Pitt.
kicking.
Oh, God.
Yeah, maybe
It really has come to that point.
It has
though.
come to that.
Rams. You know, this week you can play Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, Cam Akers is out.
Yeah.
Start Darrell Henderson. He's about to
Akers
get
might
the
get
word.
cut. I ain't trying to toot my boot, but you better listen to Matt Hamm when it comes to these ACC guys, because I'll tell you what if they're good or not. And Cam Akers ain't no good. And
Yeah.
but
I heard that.
Cooper Kupp, only consistent guy you can truly really rely on right as of now.
Are you playing Cooper Kupp in your lineups this week?
Am I playing? Man, what's crazy is in my league, I'm going against one of my top contenders next week, and I ain't gonna have Cooper Kupp next week. So I'm like,
Oh, you
He's
just
got a
lost. I mean, it's over.
Cooper Kupp's on the bye next week. So
But-
I'm gonna go against the middle. And
Ooh,
But the thing is I was thinking I might take my first L this week. I don't think I'm gonna take it this week.
Against
I'm
Chris,
take,
you're
I
not
think I'm
gonna
gonna take
take
it
that.
next. But the thing is, I'm starting Eno Benjamin and maybe Randall Cobb against Chris. I'm projected 19 more points.
Yeah,
than
but
him.
Chris had a bunch of buys too, I think.
True. Bye weeks are killers. But yeah.
They really are.
But I still, with Daryl Henderson in this game, I would temper my expectations because even if with Cam Akers out, if you add both of their production together all season, it's still not good. If you add both of them together, but good matchup. Rams, should get
Definitely
right.
look for the Rams to bounce back.
But I don't think the Rams are a very good rushing team.
No, because
But-
their O line is bad.
But start
Carolina's
Henderson,
bad.
though.
Start.
So just temper your expectations. You might get 12, 13.
Like you're not putting Daryl Henderson in Ramondre Stevenson, Eno
No.
Benjamin range.
I don't think.
But he's
What
over
are you not?
Najee.
He's over.
He's over Najee.
Man, how did Najee drop to that
Who's
point?
over Najee?
Daryl Henderson.
Daryl Henderson.
This week, yeah.
This week. Listen, I like that Phil's still hanging on with Najee because we all got different opinions. So
I mean,
He
I'm hanging
ain't
on
this
with
week,
Najee.
he said.
he ain't this week though. Let's just move on, man. Oh shoot. 425. This is the game to watch. Buffalo and Kansas
Buffalo.
City. I can't wait to break this
Hell
one down.
yeah.
Josh Allen versus Patty Mahomes. That's obvious.
Rematch.
Obviously, in there, and you're like, hold on. Why does Buffalo always got to go to Kansas City? I'm just asking.
Because they're better.
It's because you know what the league do. You know what they're doing. You know what they're doing, man.
What they
Come on
doing?
now.
But you
They-
know what-
they love some Patty Mahomes.
But this is
now.
what's going to happen, though.
They
They're going to do
should.
it in Kansas
hate
City,
Buffalo.
and Buffalo's
hate
going to
Josh
win,
Allen.
number one, and then they're
I'd
going to
love
play
to
that
watch
playoff
Patty
match
Mahomes.
in Buffalo. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen.
Dunk, I agree with you on that. Singletary.
Single carry.
Single carry.
Disappointment, man.
You know,
He's the
he
most.
could go off,
Play him
but
this week.
you know,
He's the most unpredictable running back in the whole entire league that you have to play every week because it's like,
yeah.
Agreed.
yeah, you just he is good and he does everything right, but they don't use him half the time.
Yeah.
But this week, I think they're going to have to use him. It's going to be close.
Agreed.
What's the over-under for that game? I just want to hear it.
54,
Damn.
which is pretty much
highest of the year, I
max.
think.
54 is like max in NFL games.
Really?
Pretty much.
Man, I'm
I'll
not even
take
going
the
to
over.
lie.
I'll
I was
take
about
the
to say,
over.
I might take the over on that
That's a
one.
main
31
one.
to
I'll take
28.
over. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Seems
it's 30.
reasonable.
Bill, you're a gambling guy with me. Easy over, or would you even consider the other? Buffalo got a good defense.
They both do.
I think they're kind of injured, though.
That's
a little
pretty
bit.
high for an NFL game, so I'm not just gonna say take the over right away.
Take the
It's like it's gonna
Take
be
the over.
Grand on it.
Just have fun, man.
it's
Take
gonna
the
be
over.
close. I think it might be close, bro. It could be under.
Watch it be
It could be a
low scoring.
slow scoring
Watch it
game.
score
You never know
touchdowns.
in the
Could
NFL,
be a
man.
disappointment.
It could be like one of these games where they just they were running out the clock all game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
You never know.
I don't
bro.
think they're gonna run out the clock all game, though.
All game, bro.
I mean,
It's going to be Devin Singletary versus CEH.
Well,
the whole
this-
game.
well,
this
listen.
is AC saying take the over, so
Yeah.
I always take the under.
In a
Just
game
have
like
fun with it,
this,
man.
Stephon, Gabe Davis, and
Maybe it's a good
McKenzie.
If I,
They're all but easy starts.
Oh, all easy starts.
McKenzie's an easily must start. Gabe,
I think
Gabe
all
Davis
those
too.
Buffalo receivers are easy starts. The only ones I'm questionable about is Kansas City's receivers.
Yes, that's very tough. I want to. Yeah, I'll start McKenzie. Dawson Knox in
I'd
your
start
lineup
that. I'd start him.
I'd
Yeah.
start him
I
too,
think he
yeah.
might get a touchdown.
over Evan Ingram.
I'd start pretty much any
Probably,
player.
yeah. Evan Ingram's just a little bit more.
Even Kansas City.
inconsistent.
If you're in a pinch with
Conklin?
Kansas City,
I'm starting him over Conklin for sure.
oh, would you? Yep,
Yeah.
I would too. I'm just being
This
honest.
week,
I would too.
Man, I like Dawson Knox this week. I'm telling you, I think he might get 2 touchdowns actually. Maybe.
You know,
Man,
Taysom
good.
Hill over Dawson Knox.
Oh, look at Field.
well,
That
heck,
one-
I might would too though.
That one's a little bit tougher for me, man, because like I said, Taysom Hill might get you not 0, but 0.5.
you
Dawson
go.
Knox can get you. I mean, shit, he might can get you 30. Really? I mean, that's the
I'm
upside
playing
right
Jeff
there.
Wilson over.
But Taysom Hill could do the same thing.
Isaiah McKenzie.
Who was it again?
Yeah, I'd start Jeff Wilson.
yeah, same.
Yeah, I'd
agree.
start Jeff
I'm
Wilson
with you
over
on that.
that.
Team is stacked. Let's go. Clyde, I've been saying sell high. I started to question it last week. He came back to normal last week because he didn't get a touchdown. I don't think. You're right. It's always about touchdown production with Clyde. I still say sell Clyde. I'm still with him. Selling this wide receiver core. If there was one player you had to play, Smith, Schuster, Scantling, Miko, probably roll him with Scantling, right?
Yeah. You know, I've been high on him. I mean, You got his fantasy points for last week? I know he didn't score a touchdown, but he looked good. He's definitely the most athletic of them
Yeah,
receivers.
15 PPR points, and he played on 81% of the snaps, had 8 targets. So I would roll with Scantling. I mean, maybe Juju if you had to, but I would not want to. That dude looks old to be 25.
You would never guess he's 25 years old.
And then, Miko, I'm not saying I never was like.
You were Miko.
Miko! But look, Miko's best games are. You'll be looking at him and be like, dang, Miko's had a good game. He still only had 12 fantasy points. So it's like, obviously, I would roll with Scantling in that situation. So Kraft got me on that one. I still wouldn't want to play any of them.
I'm not really bragging on it.
Yeah, it's not like we're sitting here saying, like, yo, throw Scantling in your lineups. But he's more of a play than others, especially in a game like this.
54 over and under, I'd try to get all the pieces.
Yeah.
If you're having a debate between Scantling and somebody else from like a lower scoring over under, you just want pieces.
Yeah. Travis Kelce, nothing to even say there.
You do not start Kelsey. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Only 25 yards? What the hell?
Dude, if you starting Kelce, you trash, bro.
He almost had more touchdowns than yards last game.
Shoot, 8:20. We got Dallas. They're going to
I
Philly.
want to watch this game now.
Listen, this is one thing me and Phil did a gambling episode. Phil's been on the past few gambling episodes. Kraft was on a couple weeks ago. I pretty much been rolling with Dallas because they're always underdogs. They pretty much cover pretty much all the time. I think they're like plus 5.5 or 6 or something like that. I'm gonna pick them to cover again. I think this game's gonna be a grind. I'm not. Obviously, their offense isn't that. They're not really doing nothing, but that defense is elite. I don't really buy them as a. I don't really buy the NFC East. I've been saying it, except for Philly. But Cooper Rush back in there, you're obviously playing CD, but what are we doing with his backfield with Zeke and Pollard? Because Zeke is obviously declined, in my opinion. He don't really look good at all. Pollard always looks better. He's really been looking better the past couple years. What are we doing with these guys?
If you had to put money on it, Zeke or Najee would score more fantasy points for the rest of the year.
Oh, God.
Najee. It's not even debatable, in my opinion. Is it debatable to you, though?
I think it is a little
I
bit.
think it's debatable. Phil, it ain't debatable to you.
I think the Cowboys are going to be better when Dak gets
I
in,
think-
so I
I
think it's
think
going to
Najee.
be more red zone opportunities.
I think
still
we
go with
have
Najee.
not. Phil, are you Najee Harris?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
One of them old Pepsi commercials.
You don't quite look like him though. I don't know. It's
That is
debatable.
debatable, though. Yeah, it's
I
debatable.
agree. I think it is debatable. I'll go Najee, though.
But they're
Tough.
both
Tough.
It's both not good.
Schultz, I would try to avoid playing Schultz. Honestly, I mean,
Is Dak in?
He ain't been healthy all year long.
listen.
Even if he is in.
Phil brings up a good point. Dak is questionable. Had returned to practice. I'm just expecting Cooper Rush to play this week.
Yeah, Cooper Rush is gonna play. One thing I do have to say about Schultz is
I wouldn't play him this week.
I would not play him this week
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
Najee close.
But I think if you can get him in a redraft just for nothing, I would go after him.
Yeah.
When
Dak comes
when Dak comes back, it might look pretty good.
Look, Jalen Hurts. I've gained a total respect for Jalen Hurts. I was never really down on Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts as an overall quarterback, I have a newfound respect for him. I've pretty much always liked him. Miles Sanders, I can't stand Miles Sanders.
What is wrong with you,
This
man?
dude ain't no good. I don't care what anybody says.
What
No, I'm
are
just kidding.
you?
I'm way overreacting. This dude's the running back 12. But the thing is I don't know why I'm down on Miles Sanders, but he has double digits 3 out of 5 games, including a 29-point game. Damn near 30. So, done. What's your opinion on Miles Sanders? Obviously, you're starting him. Honestly, this dude would be way up there if Jalen Hurts wouldn't take some of the touchdowns away.
I
That's
was
what
gonna
I was
say,
wanting everybody to say for
Oh,
Dunc.
yes. Okay.
Don't say it.
It's
say
said.
I will say this, though. I think Miles Sanders is a good sell high, though. I think he really is. Because I just think, like you said, he's going to get touchdowns vultured away by Jalen Hurts, and I don't expect him to play that well going down the season, in all honesty, and keeping it up.
I got one thing.
I could be wrong. I mean, I think he's a solid RB2, maybe RB3 type of deal, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not super confident in Miles Sanders. But he's proven me wrong so far this season. I said the same thing at the beginning, so maybe he continues this.
I mean,
Yep, same.
But we're sitting here, talking about Miles Sanders, and like the thing we worried about with him, his touchdowns ain't there obviously because Jalen Hurts runs them in, but 74% snaps, that's elite.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Gainwell was going to be more of a factor, but clearly not.
Gain nothing.
Yeah.
Game bad.
Yeah, I guess he's below Boston Scott on the depth chart, ain't he?
He below Jalen Hurts too. Jalen Hurts is
Of
the number one
course.
running back also.
AJ Brown, obviously you're starting him. He's the wide receiver 11 on the year. AJ Brown's the same as I've always said. He's just kind of a boom bust. But this year he's been a little more of a consistent play. Last week he was the only game he had single digits. I like AJ Brown. I had him like 8th in my rankings before the year. He's 11 now, so it's not too far off.
I think people are going to be trying to key in on Devontae Smith now.
Yeah.
Just 'cause he's been
And
playing
while you're
well.
talking about Devontae Smith, he's the number 22 wide receiver. Another one that I was wrong about. I
I
thought
was wrong about
So
him.
far.
And I was for
So
sure
far.
wrong about him, and mainly I was wrong about him because Jalen Hurts is good. He's a good quarterback. This dude's spreading it around. He's slinging it more than people thought. Phil, I mean, these are your guys right here. Devontae, Jalen Hurts, what you got to say about them?
Agreed on that. I mean, yeah, I was a little bit down on Devontae too, just with AJ Brown coming in, and I mean, he still has some big games though. I mean, I still think, AJ Brown over him. I think still though, he's gonna have some big games, but what y'all think? I think AJ Brown's still over him for sure though.
I mean, I like Devontae Smith as a wide receiver 3 flex play for sure, just because I think he has that upside there. I mean, clearly this dude's been going off for some of these weeks now. But yeah, AJ Brown, especially with him getting all that volume, I think he's the clear number 1 option there. And top 10 for sure. Shit, maybe even top 5 at the rest of the season. Really, I don't know, man. I've always been an AJ Brown guy. I've always believed in this man.
If he's healthy, he's elite. I mean, he's out there. You can't tackle that man when he gets the ball in his hands.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. And like I said, that connection with Jalen Hurts. I mean, clearly they put in some work in the offseason. Clearly they got the chemistry. So why not, man? I think this Dallas defense is elite though. So I am a little concerned about this game specifically, just because Micah Parsons is that dude.
It's a good test. It's a good test for Philly. I mean, they beat Detroit, Minnesota, Washington, Jacksonville, Arizona.
Yeah.
They do look great, but this is their first.
I was about to say those aren't really good teams.
They're all bad except for Minnesota. Minnesota's a good team. They absolutely demolished them. But with Devontae Smith, he said wide receiver 22.
22 in PPR.
He had a 30-point performance. So
Yeah.
if you take, he's a start every week, I think. But like you said, wide receiver 3 flex. I don't think
I
I'd
just
put him
think
up there like wide receiver 2.
He's just too
yet.
boomer bust for me, man. Especially with, like I said, the passing volume, because this is still a run-heavy team at the end of the day. Jalen Hurts is going to vulture a bunch of those passing and rushing TDs from all these guys. I mean, A.J. Brown, I think he just has 1 touchdown, doesn't he? Maybe it's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's just not enough touchdowns to go around to make all these receivers super relevant.
Goddard's in.
Yeah, Goddard's in. And
is
real
in,
quick,
for sure.
I want to say something about Goddard. I want to start talking about him a little more because I was down on him before the year. I know I talked about him last week or earlier this week. Goddard is as good as a draft pick that you probably could have had because
For
a lot
sure.
of these guys, there was a few taken before Goddard. People were taking Schultz ahead of Goddard. So it's like Goddard's the number 5 tight end in PPR. They actually manufacture touches for this guy. He's not going to goose egg. This dude is as safe as a play as there is. I'm not saying I was down on him before the year, but shoot, 9 points one time. Other than that, he's been double digits ever since. So, 9 targets last week. So it's like I like Goddard. I was wrong about him, obviously coming into the year, but
Me too.
clear
was
starter.
too.
Clear starter.
I think we didn't expect Jalen Hurts to be like this, though.
Yeah, that's the one thing we keep saying. We just didn't expect Jalen Hurts to be as good as he is. He's a good all-around quarterback.
And Philly. I got a question for Dunc about Goddard, too, though. Goddard's 27 years old. Do y'all know Mark Andrews' age off the top of y'all's head? I'm going to look at it.
27.
He's 27. In Dynasty, you still putting Kyle Pitts as number 1 tight end? Or
I think it's
Yes.
closer now, but I think Kyle Pitts is still the number 1, but it's a 1A, 1B type of situation For if you're competing, if you're rebuilding type of deal. I still think Pitts is the number one asset, though, yeah.
P. Miller is taking he's taking a P right now. P. Miller says in Dynasty, Mark Andrews over Kyle Pitts.
But where do you put Goddard? Is he right behind Andrews?
I
They're the
think-
same age. Same age.
I think I got Goddard probably top 7 maybe. I still got people like Freiermuth above him just because I think the upside's there with him and the development. I think I got Kelsey still above him just for those competing teams.
Yeah. Kelsey's, I would say,
Dynasty.
to me, dynasty-wise, Kelsey, Andrews, Pitts are obviously ahead of Goddard, but I probably would take Goddard over a lot of these guys.
I would take Freiermuth.
Something to think
above him,
about.
though.
That's the closest one is Freiermuth over Goddard.
I know who Phil's number 1 tight end is.
It's Andrews.
Tyler Higbee.
His boy.
Let's go, Higbee.
That's been a big
Win me the
surprise
week.
for me.
Win me the
though.
week.
I did not expect him to be that good.
Higbee's 29. He's not up there with Goddard. in
Most
Dynasty,
targets
for
in the
real.
league.
Yeah, he's not.
So where did y'all settle on Goddard, ranking wise?
I'm going to say top 5, 4 or 5, though. That's where I stand with him.
Man, I'm conflicted about it. If he is in that top 5, he's at 5.
You want
If he's
him
not
over
in that
Kyle
top 5,
Pitts?
he's around 6 or 7.
I'm gonna Phil. Listen. Phil brings up a question we've been talking about it. Kyle Pitts over Goddard. I'm taking Kyle Pitts over Mark Andrews still.
No.
But in Dynasty,
No.
I am.
You can't do
The
that.
dude's 21 years old.
I don't care how old he is. He could be 4.
It's a Dynasty ranking.
Mark Andrews, Mark Andrews could have like 10 more years, man.
Andrews,
I mean,
mean,
low on him though.
realistically, in
low on him
Dynasty,
either.
Andrews 27. You're going to get 3 years of solid production out of him.
But this is my thing, though. I am worried about Lamar Jackson leaving this offseason. I'm not going to lie to you, especially with him not extending
He's
him.
not going.
You don't think so?
I don't know,
No.
man. I think Atlanta
Oh.
especially is going to offer the bag. I'm
Nobody
not even
wants-
shitting you.
Please come to the A, Lamar. Please.
Bro, they want this is my thing. They want a
bro.
Mike Vick. They want
wish.
that legacy to be extended, man. I'm telling you. They're
He
going to
ain't
offer the
coming to
bag.
Atlanta.
He's his own agent, so they can
I don't
talk
know.
him into it.
Yeah, Phil brings up a good point. He's his own agent. He's calling his own shots.
And that's
Yeah.
my thing.
He could have signed already.
Who wouldn't want to play the Mercedes-Benz over the outdoor weather in Baltimore?
And that's my thing too. Let's just say that does happen. You
It's
get
gonna be
Lamar
Miami.
Jackson to leave Mark Andrews. Where's Mark Andrews at that point if he doesn't have the QB? I don't even know who their backup is at that
Mark
point.
Andrews comes
Nah, I'm
in.
gonna be real.
I
Huntley,
mean, this is just banking on
Mark
yes,
Andrews
clearly.
did really good with Huntley still.
There's questions about Kyle Pitts, too. Who is their quarterback? And will he throw the ball to him?
We'll
And
just
if
have to
Arthur
see.
Smith is the head coach, is he going to use him
Get
correctly?
that fucker out of there. First
They're
of all.
winning. They're winning. We're talking. I mean,
But
they're winning
who
games.
gives a shit though?
Yeah,
And
Yeah, against the Browns. Like, this is what I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm taking.
That's a good-
I'm taking Mark Andrews over Kyle Pitts in the startup.
Hey, I won't
dynasty.
blame you for saying that. I think it is just dependent on what your team is going for this year. Like, if you're in for the long run, I
talking
say
about tight
Pitts.
ends.
If you're competing right now and you're in that 3 to 4 year window where you have that set competing team, yeah, Mark Andrews for sure.
But Mark Andrews is untouchable in dynasty. Like the only people
untouchable.
Could you get Goddard? Probably not.
In Dynasty,
You would have to give up one of them top dogs for Goddard.
You can get Pitts
You
right
can do
now.
prior move
actually.
plus and get
yeah,
Goddard.
but this is my thing. This is the lowest Pitts will ever be,
Yeah.
in
Oh, for
my
sure.
opinion.
Yeah,
But
you
listen-
can't get no lower. He's in the.
But hold on, with that said, as
in a
low as
ditch.
Pitts is, you can't get Pitts. I'm just being honest.
I have
There's
Pitts
no
in almost
way.
every league that I'm in, and
There's
I'm
no
not
way
selling
you can
that
trade
dude.
and get Pitts, even as bad as he is in a
Just that
dynasty league.
positional advantage, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live in Georgia too, so it's just homerism.
Well, shit, I hate
Hey,
the Falcons.
shoot, sell him off if you can. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I still got him number one. He was an obvious fade this year, but dynasty-wise, I still got him one.
That's my thing. Let's just say if someone even offered me Mark Andrews for Kyle Pitts right now, and
take
I was
it and
competing,
run.
I would not take
Oh,
it.
if I was
If you were
competing,
competing,
I wouldn't take it. I
you're
mean,
That's
competing,
why
you're
you're
taking
1
it,
and
dog.
4.
You know you're taking it.
that's why you're 1 and 4.
Dunk, if you're competing, you know you're taking it.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I feel like he's too big of an
That's
asset.
dumber than me saying Saquon was a bust this year.
Hey,
man.
I like to have the
Like, I said that
disagreement,
same thing too.
though. Well, look, last game, we finally made it to the last game.
Holy
Over
hell.
2 hours an episode. They gonna see a 2 hour episode pop up and be like, "What the hell?" But
They must have been in person today.
These guys, they just got the rambling. How do we do this over the computer? Like, they're on bye weeks. This is less games, crap. So it's like...
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Anyways, Monday Night Football, we got Denver. We got the Chargers. First of all, NFL, Goodell, if you just happen to tune into the Cruise Dynasty podcast, will you quit putting Denver in prime time? I'm tired of seeing them.
For
They're
real.
trash.
We just got Thursday and Monday night back to back of these fuckers.
Seriously, bro. But anyways, Russell Wilson, my opinion on Russell Wilson has been stated.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, but Russell Wilson trending towards Russell Westbrook status. I'm wondering if this dude is fading to just. I just think Russell Wilson could be on the decline. I wasn't like that before the year, but now I'm seeing him play. I know they're saying he's got a little lat injury now, but
Instead of lat tear too.
and they're saying that they were saying that after like a couple weeks, but it's like, what about those other weeks when y'all was being trash? But it's just like, so obviously Russell Wilson, that's a tough one. But Melvin Gordon, are you obviously playing Melvin Gordon if he plays this week?
I think I was about to say they say he's questionable.
Yeah,
though,
questionable.
isn't
Let me look at this Chargers rush
if he
defense because
plays.
I know it's very bad.
Man,
he?
look,
Yeah,
Melvin
Joey
Gordon's
Bosa's out.
Gordon's not a bad player to play because he's going to be getting the work from here on out with Javonte being out. So I wouldn't mind having him in certain situations.
For old Boone.
Yeah, look for Mike Boone. He
got
he
him.
get some passing work. Sutton Judy, I bring it up every week. Number one guy. Who's the number one guy on this offense?
It's Sutton.
It's clearly Sutton at this point. Judy,
I mean,
but
just for the volume's sake.
Dunk's not going to relent.
He will
Dunk
not
won't
relent.
I'm just saying for the volume's sake. Bro, this is what I'm saying, though. If you look at Judy, bro, this man is getting separation. Russ is just ass, dude.
Russ is bad. I agree. Russ is bad.
Russ is bad.
Now, how the fuck are you going to... Judy beat that dude downfield last week. We clearly saw it, and Russ throws it in the middle when he had the outside wide open. Like, why? What in the fuck, dude? Like, what the hell? That's a 70-yard bomb touchdown right there, and Russ just fucked it up.
Well, look, this is what
Threw
I'm
it to the defender.
Don't turn from white to red real quick.
Dude, he pisses me off. I'm not going to lie.
Judy!
It's been a pretty big debate within the crew. I've been
has
saying
been.
Sutton, but here's my honest opinion. If you want me to be honest, I don't think neither of these guys are true number one guys. If I'm just being completely honest,
It's Russell Wilson, man.
But
and,
yeah.
and
Are
the
you
scheme.
taking Russ
The scheme is not good.
Or Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that's easy.
Kirk Cousins
What
right now.
about Jimmy G?
Russ.
Yeah, probably
If he-
Russ.
Wait, is that debatable though?
If you look at Russ,
That's the upside, man. You just got to chase that. At that
Okay,
point,
yeah.
this man Garoppolo is in a
He's gonna
run-heavy
get you about
offense.
15 points.
But Jimmy G could dish it off to Debo and him take it for 100.
I mean, if you look at
wrong.
Russ, really, compared to the streaming options, you pretty much. I've been looking in all my leagues, and I can't find nobody to start over Russ. Russ is QB 15
Jared Goff
this year.
or
It's
Russ?
not like Matthew Stafford. All right, Russ is QB 15.
Matthew Stafford's
Stafford is
Oh,
QB
he's 17.
23.
Oh, God.
So, Russ is, he has been bad. He has been terrible. But you're not going out there and starting Jimmy G over Russ.
I wouldn't
You
start
can't
golf
do it.
over him.
You
No,
wouldn't?
Golf?
I wouldn't.
You just can't do
Not
it.
after
golf?
that shit that he did last week.
A lot of
Good
weapons
God.
I mean,
though.
Wentz, you know what you're getting. I mean,
Ugh.
Wentz, you know what you're getting. He
God,
could put
man,
up
we're
4
talking
points.
with Russ and these people.
You can play.
Like, what
you
in
only
the hell
play.
did
If
we
you gotta
come
play
to?
Wentz, it's gonna be on a team that has really bad pass defense. That's the only way he's gonna do anything. If they got a good defense,
Shit, or
Chicago
is
had
Chicago?
terrible
Yeah, I was about to
defense.
say, is Chicago really that good?
And he only threw for
Chicago's
99
pass
yards.
defense is not bad. I'm gonna say that.
Who?
Chicago's pass defense is not bad.
That's tough to me. I ain't gonna say Chicago's defense is just awful, but
Hey, Phil, who's their number one cornerback there?
And I ain't gonna tell you all that info, but
Yeah.
that's for the exclusive members club.
if you want to know who the number one cornerback for Chicago is, you better pay us. You give us some money, we'll give you that info.
The
But
only one I know on that defense is Roquan. That's literally it.
free Roquan.
Yeah.
But shoot, they're playing the Chargers. Let me
Prime
just
time again.
Yeah, prime time. Herbert, obviously, is he still? I know he's
He's
banged
fine.
up. Yeah, but he's fine.
Mike Williams,
Eckler,
good.
I've been saying Eckler. If you're not competing, he's RB1 in PPR. But I was
y'all, number one, baby. Let's go.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he's keeping that up though.
Who's taking the crown?
Derrick
PPR
Henry.
leagues?
Let's go.
Phil's players. All Phil's players.
It feels like Najee's taking the crown.
Yeah, Eckler
I
is.
say
This
Barkley.
guy.
I say Barkley or Chubb.
Yeah. Well, look,
Maybe Barkley.
Maybe Chubb.
if you're not competing in Dynasty,
not in
sell
PPR.
Eckler.
don't think.
But Eckler's as good as play as any.
He good.
What are they saying about Keenan Allen? Keenan Allen's still limited in practice.
He ain't in.
This dude's done, bro.
Yeah, Keenan is
Allen
done.
almost done.
It's crazy because I said this through the text. In the offseason, I offered Micah. I offered him 2 first rounds for Keenan Allen, and I offered him 2 first rounds for Mike Evans. He turned them both down. Now I guarantee you, he's like, I wish I would have accepted the Keenan Allen one.
Clearly.
But you know, any of these other guys, Palmer. I mean, maybe if you got to.
If I'm
kind of off
desperate.
that experiment right now.
yeah.
was
Gerald
looking
Everett.
pretty good.
I like Gerald Everett as much as any tight end. He only had 1 point last and I'm still sitting here saying that.
I don't know, man.
3 out of the 5 games he's had double digits. He's going against Denver, Seattle, bye, and then Atlanta. And then after he plays San Fran, he's got Kansas City, Arizona, Las Vegas, Miami, Tennessee. I see a lot of green. There's a lot of green right there. So Gerald Everett is, to me, is as before last week. I said he was just as safe as a play as anybody. You know how tight ends are. I would play Gerald Everett if I had him.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think we agree pretty much on everything on this game. For once, we're just.
Whatever the
We're
spread
just
is, I'm
move on
taking
to
the
this
Chargers.
Oh, easily.
You think?
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm taking the under, whatever it is.
It's a divisional game, though. So it might be a little bit more
Agreed.
competitive.
But shoot, man, I say we just wrap it on up.
It's not like we haven't spent 2.5
Yeah, 2 hours. I mean, hey, add the podcast. Add us on Twitter at Duncan_says, at
Yes,
Crew
sir.
Matt Hamm. We'll get at you in some fantasy.
Crown me.
Crown him. I'm the number 1 guy, though. So it's you can crown Dunk all you want down there in 8th place. But, hold on. Crap, do you have anything to say to the people?
Y'all done heard my voice enough on this episode.
Yeah.
You can hear me next time. Just tune on in. We probably going to be dropping
Yeah.
We're gonna do a lot of episodes tonight, right? We getting
I'm
on.
ready to keep going. I'm ready to
2
keep
hours
going.
ain't enough to talk about football. We need like 5 hours.
But shoot, thanks for listening to the podcast. P. Miller, you got anything to say to the people real quick?
Nah, man, y'all go to sleep, bro.
Go to bed. Go to bed, listen to this podcast, though.
Yeah, listen to one more episode though.
But shoot. But yeah, thanks for listening, though. But we out.